That called Hansville. 22-year-old Sydney Helms of Jasper was identified as one of those fatalities. The other victim's identity has not been determined. An investigation is underway. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Actor portrayal, based on a real patient experience.
I'm Mike. I'm a husband, proud father of two, work my butt off 6 days a week, some nights too. When my family or my company needs me to make it happen, I make it happen. But a few months ago, I started having trouble making it happen, in the bedroom. I tried some pills online, but they didn't work. Honestly, I thought about throwing in the towel on my sex life, but I'm not that old. I still want to enjoy intimacy with my wife. Like that poet said, I don't want to just go gently into that good night. So I went to Montgomery Men's Health. Got some lab work done, was prescribed some meds, and wow, it made it happen. I can't say enough good about them. They took care of me, followed up, and made adjustments to make it happen even better. I even learned I had low testosterone, which they were also treating me for. And I have never felt better. If I were you and you're like me, I'd give them a call today at 334-440-3663 or go to montgomerymenshealth.com. If you like most guys, they'll make it happen for you too.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this football season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of statistics, and place your entry. It's as easy as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/primetime and use code PRIMETIME. That's code PRIMETIME at prizepicks.com/primetime for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
Anyway, I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness.
Never, ever give up. Don't give up. Don't allow it to happen. If there's a concrete wall in front of you, go through it, go over it, go around it, but get to the other side of that wall.
What the hell are we doing here?
We are behaving the way a superpower ought to behave.
Well, our behavior has produced some crappy results.
That's how you conduct yourself in a democracy?
I got hairy legs.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the studio with me here on a fun Monday afternoon.
How you doing, Joey?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm all right.
Just all right?
All right.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm going to get up, get ready for the week. And when I look at the news today, folks, there's a lot to get to.
Yeah, why you did that.
A lot indeed. We have a big, Donald Trump did like an hour and a half, 40-minute interview with Kristen Welker of Meet the Press. Mm-hmm. And usually these corporate media hits are 20 minutes.
Yeah.
They put out the whole hour and a half interview. And it's fascinating. She doesn't pull any punches or anything. She was the one who did that debate between Biden and Trump.
Oh.
And actually, everybody was preparing for her to be awful.
Yeah. She putting it bad, huh?
Kind of down the middle. So I have respect for Kristen Welker because that's not an easy job.
That's shocker.
It's not an easy thing.
Well, the hip thing to do is pick on Trump right now. So the fact that she didn't
That's kind of surprising.
Well, and that's a good lesson to start on today.
Yeah.
Not that everybody tuning in wants a lesson, but as much as I rail against the corporate media and the elites within and outside of government, it doesn't mean that everybody who's in the so-called elite circles is a bad person. It's more like some of them are demons, but it's more like you're just caught up in the system. You know how it is. Like when you're working over there at Hyundai and they're like, hey, don't rock the boat too much. I know because you tried to rock the boat a little bit, but you know what I'm talking about. It's not like they were bad people.
Oh, right.
But people just go along to get along.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
They stick with who got them to the dance.
Exactly.
So when I see folks within corporate media or anywhere else doing a good job, I'll tip my hat to them. And honestly, at the end of the day, folks, we're going to need folks of all different types and from all different walks of life. The idea that one side, whether Republican or Democrat, populist or establishment, whatever, is going to have total victory is nonsense unless you want a bunch of body bags in the process. And if you want that, you ain't my fellow countrymen. Excuse me. Pardon me. So there's the Trump interview that we could get into. We could get into Hunter Biden.
He's suing somebody.
He's suing the IRS. Now, is he trying to gain favor with conservatives? But he's suing the two agents. They were targeting me and trying to make me look bad. You did that yourself. You did that yourself, you whoring crackhead who you left your laptop because you're so messed up. You made you look bad, Hunter. Goodness gracious.
I know it's before your time, but did you ever see the original Smokey and the Bandit?
Ooh. I want to say yes, but I don't remember.
If you ever get a chance, just a clip or two, the son of the sheriff reminds me of Hunter Biden 110%.
I might just need to watch that this afternoon.
Oh, it's a great, you'll love it. And Sally Field, God bless her.
I rewatched Braveheart last night.
Oh, really?
You've seen it all sorts of... And no, it's still like when they're torturing him, they're like, just call for mercy. Just call for mercy. And he yells, freedom. I'm like, oh, man, that's pretty good right there. And Robert the Bruce leading the troops there. I like that.
I caught most of Where the Buffalo Roam this weekend.
Oh.
That's a great movie.
Also in sports news, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won again. All right, 2-0, baby.
Yeah, Auburn won, too.
Auburn 3-0 now?
Alabama won. I don't know if you saw that. Did you stick around long enough to see the victory?
Yeah, it wasn't a good victory. It was ugly.
Not?
Same field the Bucks played on there, Raymond James Stadium. Yeah.
Well, man, I hope y'all's cameras were better than ours, or better than Bama ones, because the Lightning, they had to film everything from like a mile away, so the game became not worth watching.
See, now the real competition for Auburn begins this week with A&M. So
our first loss comes up this weekend. I don't know.
No, we'll see. Our team looks all right, but it hadn't been like tested.
Yeah, who are we testing with?
Like, I mean, come on. Are we going to say Alabama looks great?
Oh no, not at all. Not at all. I mean, they got a pretty good one coming up this weekend too, but. SEC play, I think, starts this weekend.
And by the way, if you plan on going to hospitals anytime soon, folks, hospitals nationwide have now reinstated mask mandates.
Really?
So have your crappy mask that you barely wash and that barely works ready to go.
We should have bought some more masks and start reselling them. Is it too late to get on the bandwagon? We could buy a cargo container of masks from China and start reselling them.
And I can't. I'm now getting memories of trying to go visit sick folks I knew. And go through the whole line. They do your temperature. Sure. You got your mask on. I get up to the front desk. After waiting 20 minutes, they go, oh, actually, he's already had a visitor today. Only one a day, sir. So I hope that doesn't come back.
Wasn't the Alabama legislature doing something to prevent mask mandates and things like that coming back?
Yeah, but they were trying. Did they actually accomplish it?
No money to be made there.
Right. So... there's plenty to get to today, but I want to start with the Trump interview.
All right.
So let's pull this up, Eddie. Trump is, he's getting a lot of play these days.
Oh, yeah.
Now's the time for him to shine, clearly leading in the polls. But you got to wonder, and like it's not even close.
Right.
But you got to wonder, why is everybody else running? Do they know something that we don't know? Does Trump know something that he won't fully admit?
Or did Joey, is it like normal? He just got a bunch of people that want to put their name in the hat so they can put on their resume, I once ran for president. I was allowed at the debates.
Yeah, well, here we go. We're going to jump in. This is near the end, folks. But he's asked about democracy, that hailed thing that we claim to be a democracy.
Yeah.
Well, Trump is laying it out there pretty based way, actually.
Okay.
Saying that, actually, I think... we don't really have much of a democracy. And you know what? I think
I heard that this morning.
Donnie from Queens is right. Let's listen in.
Question, Mr. President. You have met with prime ministers, kings, queens, dictators. You've seen it all. As you think about the possibility of a second term, do you still think that democracy is the most effective form of government?
I do, but it has to be a democracy that's fair. This democracy is, I don't consider us to have much of a democracy right now. They indict their political opponent. Free speech is shot because the press is very dishonest, I have to say. Even the way you fight me on simple questions like, the border and this, you fight me so much. And I'm saying, why are you fighting me? When I first ran, the approval rating of the media was very high, and now it's very low. It may be below Congress, which is pretty hard to believe. People understand what's going on. We need a media that's free and fair, and frankly, if they don't have that, it's very, very hard to straighten out our country.
Did you feel as president you had enough power, though? If you were reelected, would you try to find ways? For example, there's a report you're looking into firing potentially people within the federal government who aren't necessarily perceived to be loyal. Would you need more power?
Well, just so you understand, that's what the Democrats do, okay? They do it in spades.
Would you do that?
They do it at a level that you wouldn't believe. I mean, nobody's ever done. No, I wouldn't do that. I want great people, whether they're Republican or Democrat. I want great people. But I want people that love our country, not people that hate our country.
Well, I mean, that seems like a simple enough requirement. People that love the country, people who don't hate the country.
Well, doesn't that make you a nationalist or something like that?
I guess.
I mean, I thought it makes.
So I kind of like the idea of good and evil transcends nation and interest. That sometimes you can do the right thing and the good thing, no matter how many people hate you for it.
Yeah, I love that. Great idea.
Just saying.
I don't know if it really works around here anymore.
No, but here, let's go to the beginning of the interview now. And, but Trump talking about firing people and stuff, it's like, I think Vivek's kind of stolen that thunder because he's laid out the detailed plans on how to do it.
He's ready to do some firing, man.
And I don't know where that guy's going to end up, but I just don't see him as VP, maybe.
I think he's smart. We both know he's a smart guy. You're not going to say you're running for VP, but you're telling me if Donald Trump comes to you, because your only chance of ever being president is being VP first, I think. But Trump comes to you and says, "You want to be my VP?" You're going to say, "No, Donald, I'm a."
In all seriousness, I would have some demands.
Oh, I'm sure he would. He better. You know
After what happened with Pence,
right.
I would have some very clear demands and very red lines. Like, okay, I'll do most anything. I'll defend you to the hilt, but here's certain things I will not do.
He asked someone like Nikki Haley, what do you think she would do?
Yes.
I think she'd sign up and no demands.
No, the reason, Vivek makes me think he's not running for it is just the way he carries himself. When he says, I only really work well as number one, I think Trump's the same way. I believe him. I think he's used to running his own thing.
You can do that as vice president. Trump can say, look, these are the things I want you to go focus on.
Or it might not even be VP. It could be like hire him as chief of staff.
I love the idea of that.
The guy that can actually pull all the levers. But here's the beginning of this interview with Kristen Welker of NBC News.
There are a number of things that make your campaign unprecedented. You are the first former president to run for re-election in more than 100 years. You are facing 4 indictments. You have an incredibly significant lead in the GOP primary polls. But I want to ask you this, Mr. President. Why do you want to be president again?
Well, it's a very simple answer, and I can give it very easily. It's called Make America Great Again. Our country is in serious trouble. I don't think we've ever been so low in terms of certainly opinion, world opinion, and country opinion. People are devastated. They look at what's happening with millions of people coming in, millions of illegal immigrants coming into our country, flooding our cities, flooding the countryside. I think the number is going to be 15 million people by the time you end this, by the end of this year. I think the real number is going to be 15 million people. They come from prisons. They come from mental institutions, insane asylums. They say, sir, please don't use that term, but it's true. They're terrorists at a level. It was very interesting. On NBC, I saw a poll and I saw some statistics, and it said in 2019, there were no terrorists. They caught no terrorists. There was nothing that they saw. There was no anything. And now, this year, it's a record number like they've never seen before. So we did a great job at the border. We did a great job with the military. We did a great job with inflation. We had essentially no inflation. We had a great economy. And we didn't have an Afghanistan disaster. We were getting out, but we were going to get out with dignity and pride, not the way they got out. That was a surrender and an embarrassment and horrible. We gave $85 billion worth of equipment to the Taliban. We had death, so much death and so much horrible destruction. And it was a terrible thing. I think it was the lowest point in the history of our country. Now, with all of that, we can change it and we can make America great again. And that's why I'm doing this.
Well,
straightforward answer. It's what you've come to expect from Trump.
Right.
He believes what he believes, and he knows how to say it. That said, you got to wonder, when he lays out the positive record, it's like, yeah, but weren't you president during COVID?
But would it be acceptable to you or others that are holding the COVID thing over his head, which I understand why, if he said, you know what, he just comes clean, which I know he would never would, but if he came clean and said, you know what, on COVID, I screwed up. I trusted the wrong people.
See, but I would make the critique of Trump even deeper, and I'd say this to his face. It's like, if you are hiring all these folks, and then they turn around and stab you in the back, whether it's COVID or James Mattis or Rex Tillerson, whoever.
Yeah.
But if you're hiring them and you get all these backstabbers, I mean, that's awful. I know it. It's not good to be stabbed in the back, but you're the one who hired them. And it's not like a one-off. Like, I thought this guy was good and he turned out. No, it's a pattern with everybody that goes to work for you, Mr. President.
Joey, in this tight times on hiring people, sometimes you hire the wrong people. Sometimes you just got to fill a position.
Omarosa? You brought back Omarosa into the fold? What are you thinking?
She could fog a mirror, Joey. She could fog a mirror. They were giving me crap because I couldn't fill enough people in there, so I started throwing people in there, and now you're mad because, they suck.
I think actually Trump would own up to. I want somebody to ask him that question. What were the hiring mistakes you made?
Yeah.
And what would you do differently now going into it?
I would love them to bring up the whole Omarosa thing. I mean, that one in particular. Just
that one's a silly example.
Oh, yeah, but just to see the look on his face of, you got
no,
me there,
if you believe in a realist foreign policy with a strong military, but we don't go around using it in nation building, why did you hire John Bolton as your national security advisor?
Like the good
it's
dog
stuff
that
like
barks,
that.
Man.
And again, it's like, it's one thing if one or two people stab you in the back, but when there's a pattern here, makes me think there's something deeper, but we'll see. This guy is clearly the front runner. He's going to be the GOP nominee unless, I guess, they remove him from the ballot and throw him in prison. And you better believe, don't think they won't do it.
Don't think that's off the table.
Let's go to Eric before the break.
Hey, Eric.
Damn, Joey. Hey, who's got somebody done lit a fire up under you this afternoon? I'll tell you the truth.
I feel pretty fair, and I feel pretty regular.
Well, I can understand. I can dig it. As the old saying in the 70s, I can dig it.
All right.
Hey, man, I hope my reception's worth a damn because I'm in Bay Minette. But, hey, man, right, this is aimed at both of you now. I'm going to tell you, right, both of you guys, I love listening to you guys. I love everything you stand for. But I'll tell you right now, the way this country is, I wouldn't rather have anybody than Trump. I don't care what anybody says. This nutcase we got right now, I've never, in 58 years of my life, since I was a teenager, seen anything like this. We are an embarrassment to the world. Not only to America, but, I mean, this man is a complete failure. And at least, but the very people that voted for Joe Biden, they used to watch The Apprentice, and that was on NBC, I think, mistaken. But they turned their back. That just goes to show how Democrats can flip on you like I don't know, man, like a coin. They'll flip on you. They love you one minute when the ratings are good, but then when all of a sudden it's not, they don't like you.
Well, do you think it's going to be Trump or somebody else on the Republican side?
Well, Joe, this is the damnedest thing. I want you to, you give me your opinion, and you and your host. I would feel good about seeing Robert F. Kennedy be the Democratic nominee because I tell you, that man's got spunk. He's standing up to that party.
Yeah,
they don't like him.
Right. Now, there's stuff he said recently that makes my head hurt. Like he wants
that he's a Democrat.
Yeah, he wants to ban fracking, for instance, and he's probably serious about it. I'm like, no, man, that's not the right way to go. But
Right on. I mean, you're going to lose you got a lot of people out here. And here's another, but Biden supposed to be pro-union. What's up? I mean, you got the United Auto Workers.
Yeah, he ain't
but yet again, 46% increase in pay, and then you want to work 32 hours a week and get paid for 40? Are you kidding me?
See, Biden is pro-big union. Biden is pro sort of the bosses that run the union.
There you go. That's a good way to put that, Joey.
Like, unions in theory are fine, but it's turned into just another almost like corporate entity. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
You don't think he's in the back pocket of the United Auto Workers, do you?
No, he's in the front pocket. Front pocket, baby.
Hey, I appreciate you. I got to get it.
Appreciate it, Eric. 272-9228. Yeah, I mean, who knows where this is going? But we'll keep going with the Trump interview, folks. Okay. And coming up at 2:45 this afternoon, at 2:45, if you want to listen live, Coach, or U.S. Senator, but Coach Tommy Tuberville will be joining us.
Excellent.
Talk the latest on all these military holds he's put on, but also his investigation into all these folks that were fired because of the COVID vaccine mandates.
Yes.
Fired from the military.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sent out a pretty well-worded, strongly worded, if you will, letter that I'm looking at now here. Mm-hmm. So we're going to get into that and a few other topics at the end of the show. Again, 2:45 in the final hour here on News and Views on a Monday. Coach Tommy Tuberville will be joining us with the latest of what he is up to. Might ask him a little bit about some football, too, because, he was a coach for so long. But first, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And there at Pest Pro Services, well, Ashley and her team, they can help you with all those pest control problems you might have. Now, you've been using them for years, right?
I have. Never let me down that one time. And they've educated me quite often. In fact, this weekend, or actually I think it was Friday, the way they ended their Friday is they brought everybody back to the office and they had a training meeting.
Sure.
So that's how they stay up to date on every kind of thing like that. They're not just come to the office, have coffee, and then they go about their route. They actually do hard-nosed training there at the office.
Right, quality control. So
right, and that's a big thing. And it also gives them a chance for everybody to get together, talk about what they saw this week, talk about business. Again, the way she runs her business, Ashley runs her business.
They're actually a team. Yeah.
Right, a real team.
And that's why you're going to get that great service no matter who you got coming by. Now, there are folks there on the team at Pest Pro Services that specialize in, like, cockroaches or specialize in taking out wasps.
Termites.
Or termites, yeah.
Termites?
Termites?
Termites, yeah.
The Terminators. But, no matter your problem, Pest Pro Services has your back. And you might as well go ahead and make them your everyday pest control company and get you on a quarterly schedule and can give unique treatments to your home so those little critters aren't getting inside and bothering you. So check out Pest Pro Services today. You can always call them at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or go to ppsriverregion.com, and you can always search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. They have a very active Facebook page. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell Ashley and the team there that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the afternoon sent you more News and Views, well, after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, I'm Scott Mosley for the Alabama Gazette, your hometown conservative newspaper published right here in beautiful downtown Montgomery. The Alabama Gazette serving Central Alabama proper for over 23 years. Honest, informative, trustworthy, while other newspapers, those liberal, woke pieces of print, are falling by the wayside. The Alabama Gazette is thriving. Why? Because they live up to their banner of God, family, and country in every single publication. You get yourself a subscription right now, part of their subscription club program, for just $38 a year. That's the Alabama Gazette, 356-6700. Makes a great gift as well if you know someone that's moved away from the area Subscription to the Alabama Gazette will be just a thing, a piece of Montgomery they can hold in their hand, and we'll keep the price a secret. $38, the Alabama Gazette, 1 full year. What are you waiting for? Give them a call, 356-6700. The Alabama Gazette, they are most worthy of your support.
Is your cell phone or iPad cracked, broken, or not working right? Don't let the big carrier stores sucker you into a new $1,100 device. Let XI Repair fix your device today. XI Repair fixes cell phones, computers, laptops, iPads, game consoles, drones, and more. Their certified technicians fix hundreds of devices every day. When your device needs care, call XI Repair, 334-777-1234, or Google XI Repair.
Who's there? It's Bill, the electrician, here to make your home burglar-proof. Oh, thank goodness. I thought maybe you were an intruder. No, ma'am. I'm a burglar's worst nightmare.
If your house doesn't have sufficient outdoor lighting, it's a prime target for intruders. That's why you should call Crosby Electric today.
How's it going, Bill? Just fine, ma'am. See, when your intruder trips this wire, it grabs him by the foot and hangs him upside down. Really?
The experts at Crosby Electric will install lighting that not only discourages intruders, but also makes it safer for you and your guests to navigate around steps, pools, and other tripping hazards.
Bill, is that contraption safe? Oh, sure. It's disarmed now, but... Bill! Like I said, I'm a burglar's worst nightmare. I see. You mind cutting me down, ma'am?
Avoid your worst nightmare. Call the outdoor lighting experts at Crosby Electric or visit crosbyelectric.com.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a famous broadcaster.
Hey man, what's happening?
Now, I understand you radio people move a lot, is that correct?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, how does this affect your taking care of your retirement money?
Oh man, I don't give that a second thought because my buddy David Ernest, he's my money man.
Your money man?
With the money plan.
I see.
So no matter where I go up and down the dial, David has my back, you know?
I'll bet you know some phone numbers our listeners could call to talk with David Ernest.
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
And he has a website at retirewithernest.com.
Hey, you're on top of it today, man.
I also understand that you hold some sort of a record in broadcasting.
Yes. I was the first person to put together a show with myself, a duck, a chicken, and a goose. But it didn't last long. We got taken off the air.
Why were you taken off the air?
Too much foul language, man.
Oh, my.
So I wasn't crazy about that one myself.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the house.
In the house.
And let's continue on here. We're the long Donald Trump Meet the Press interview, but it's good stuff. A lot of stuff came out of this, so let's continue on.
And you have talked about a lot. We are going to delve into a number of the issues you brought up. You talked about all the people coming across the border. Of course, a lot of families also coming across the border as well. I want to talk to you about that a little bit later on. But first, let's talk about the breaking news today. We learned just a short time ago that the president's son, Hunter Biden, was indicted by a federal grand jury on 3 gun charges. Given that, Mr. President, can you continue to say that there are 2 systems of justice?
Well, I think there's no question about it. He had a plea deal that was the deal of the century, the art of the deal. You could write a book on it, the art of the deal. And all of a sudden that was broken up by a judge who was able to, a brilliant judge actually, who was able to...
Okay, I got to pause it there. Did he just wriggle in a plug to his own
he
book?
his own book.
That's amazing.
You know,
Have you
and
met the
he
guy?
got a deal, which reminds me of The Art of the Deal. Second best book of all time, second only to the Bible. You guessed it, folks, the Bible. Greatest book ever. But Art of the Deal, coming up on its heels.
He should have
see through what was
given it
happening.
away.
Yeah.
And it's a sad situation. I mean, nobody should be happy about this. I'm not happy about it. Nobody is. It's a very sad thing. It's so bad for our country. But, you know, if you think about it, I've been under investigation from the day I came down the escalator, and a phony investigation, fake investigations, investigations that I beat every single time, still under investigations. But it's a very sad thing, and it's a slippery slope, and dangerous, very dangerous for our country.
But you talked about the plea deal, but now Hunter Biden's been indicted. He's facing very serious charges. So doesn't that undercut your entire argument that there are two systems of justice in this
Look,
country?
it's one of 12 charges. There are 12 possible charges.
And he's
this
still
is
under
the only charge
investigation.
that doesn't affect his father.
Well, he's still under investigation.
Well, sure, maybe. I mean, let's see what happens. But this is the only charge that doesn't affect Joe Biden. This was the gun charge. But gun charges are very serious. You know, people have had gun charges and gone to jail for a lot of years. I pardoned some people who I thought it was just horrible what happened, but they were put in jail for many, many years, rappers and others. So, look, it's a bad thing, but it's one of 12. And it's the one charge that doesn't affect Joe Biden.
Well, of course, there's no evidence that the president has any link to his son's business dealings. Let me ask you.
Wait, there's no evidence? I love this game they play.
Fact checker.
Number one, like, y'all make decisions based off evidence, right? No, you don't. We're all scientists here in the corporate media. No, you're not. We're all scientists here, us the voting people. No, you're not.
Right.
Evidence? Talking about evidence. The only time you bring up evidence is when you say, well, there's no evidence for that. Give me a break. Let's keep going here. Are there two, systems of justice? Is it a two-tier? Of course it is.
But what do we do about that? Who do we go complain to that about? That they'll listen? I mean, we all know there's two tiers.
We break it up. That's what we do. We don't complain about it. We break it up.
Yes.
Well, I don't necessarily agree. He called in. You mean he called in all these meetings? He was calling in on the meetings. He was put on speakerphone and give me every single day. And
the witness
literally
testified.
many calls. And
the witnesses.
And what about the fact that he got rid of the prosecutor for $1 billion?
Well, the witness
you
who
don't get
testified.
rid of this prosecutor. We're not giving you $1 billion to Ukraine. He said that. I mean, there are a lot of things here.
Mr. President, the witness who testified, though, said that he never heard any discussion of business when President Biden was put on the phone.
What, is it true or not if he was on the phone calls? Because one guy didn't. Oh, my goodness. It's this splitting of hairs. It is a dishonest use of evidence and facts. What's that great line? The corporate press is factual but not truthful. Oh, in fact, the best liars know how to lace their lies with all sorts of facts so they can mislead on the big things. Like, you must trust the system, citizen. You must trust the system. The system only works if you trust it. I don't care if we're acting in ways that are untrustworthy. I don't care that we in the government and we in the corporate media will destroy anybody that challenges our power. If you get too big for your britches, they will try to destroy you. You can see him trying to do it with Elon Musk ever since he started Breaking Bad. You saw him trying to do it to Joe Rogan. You now got Russell Brand because he's gotten too big for his britches, apparently. Too close to home, calling out Big Pharma and other corporate interests. Now, all of a sudden, all these, things surface. All these accusations. Don't give me this. Well, but we're going to sit here and argue over the minutia and tiny little facts like we're in a courtroom. We're not. And evidence isn't what people base their votes on. Or else both parties would be in the dustbin of history. Anyway, let's keep going.
You saw the prosecutor thing on television, because I saw it on your network. He said, you don't get rid of this prosecutor, I'm not giving $1 billion.
That was looked into as well, and as you know, there was never
come
any
on.
wrongdoing.
If I ever said that, quid pro quo.
Let's move on to what a second Trump term would look
Sure.
like. When you launched your campaign in March, you told the crowd, quote, I am your retribution. What does that mean? What does that look like?
I think retribution is talking in terms of I have to protect people. What they're doing to people is so horrible. They're putting people in jail for long periods of time. Firemen, policemen, accountants, even lawyers. They're in prisons for years now and don't even have trials in some cases. And if you look at Antifa and other groups, practically nothing happened to them. They burned down Portland, they burned down Minneapolis, they took over Seattle. I mean, they literally took over a big chunk of the city. People died and nothing happened to them. We have to protect all people.
But when you talk about retribution, are you talking about directing your attorney general to try to go after your political enemies?
When I talk about retribution, I'm talking about fairness. We have to treat people fairly. These people on January 6th, some of them never even went into the building, and they're being given sentences of, many years.
Are you going to pardon
And nothing
those
is
people who've been
happening.
convicted?
Well, I'm going to look at them, and I certainly might if I think it's appropriate. No, it's a very, very sad thing, and they're dividing the country so badly, and it's very dangerous.
Well, Mr. President, we're going to delve into that a little bit later on, but I want to stay on this idea of what you mean by retribution. Are you looking to appoint an attorney general who will prosecute the people you tell them to prosecute?
I'm looking to appoint an attorney general who's going to be tough on crime and fair. Very simple.
And go after your political enemies?
No, I would never do that. But Biden has done that. Look, Biden, these aren't indictments against me. These are Biden indictments. This isn't God coming down and very fairly said, "Oh, you spoke badly about an election." The election was rigged. There's no question about that. There's so much proof on it. Even if you go to the more modern day proof with the, they call it Twitter files, FBI and Twitter, or you take a look at the Amazon stuff or the Google stuff, or you take a look at 2,000 Mules, you take a look at all of the ballot stuffing that's on tape, you take a look at the fact that the legislatures didn't approve a lot of the things that were done in the elections and they had to approve. And we could go on forever. We could go on forever. But no, I want somebody that's going to be strong, respected, tough, and fair.
Just to go back to a couple of the points you said, the ballot stuffing, that's something that's been debunked.
It hasn't
As
been
you
debunked.
know,
It's on camera.
But I do want to keep moving forward.
Yeah, but
and of course,
it's on camera. Hundreds and even thousands and thousands of people. You take a look. True the vote. Take a look. It's on camera.
But Mr. President,
they have
you know,
thousands of
Republican
pictures.
officials.
And here's again the game of, we got to go with the facts and the evidence. How many folks, if you had to guess, Eddie, like how it would shape up and divide, that say that film by Greg Phillips and Kathleen Ingebrigtsen and True the Vote and Dinesh D'Souza helped put it together? How many folks think 2,000 Mules is legit? And how many of them do you think that cleaves? Like if you polled people, that people who love Trump would think it's true and people who hate Trump would think it's false?
Yep.
But, we're all about evidence here. No, we're not. Not about evidence whatsoever.
Well, we make up evidence half the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can overthrow an entire nation without frickin' evidence.
Oh, yeah, we do that on the regular.
All the time. So just don't give me that. But here, we got another break. But first, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And at Montgomery Men's Health, well, they can help you when it comes to, unique problems of being a man.
Face, yeah.
We often talk about the low T symptoms, like no energy, no motivation, you're physically and mentally tired, just worn out, no libido, no sex drive to speak of.
It happens.
But it could be other problems like prostate issues.
Yep.
Could be you got ED.
Could happen.
PE.
Could happen.
Both no fun by any means. Or it just could be something unique to you as a man. So what you need to do is go by Montgomery Men's Health. Make an appointment today, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or you can always go to montgomerymenshealth.com. And whether they're helping you with those testosterone treatments, those low T treatments can truly change your life from higher energy to better gains at the gym.
Brother.
That's right, brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, or maybe they can find, we got a PSA score back. It looks like you've got something going on with your prostate health, so we need to further check that out. It depends. Maybe it's your metabolism that's actually the issue.
It could be.
I can help you with all of these things there at Montgomery Men's Health. So check them out today. Again, 440-3663. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the afternoon sent you evidence. I got to love that. Like we're all detailed lawyers, quickly sifting through the facts.
Not hardly.
Give me a break. Why haven't y'all used all your evidence-based reporting, all your resources to maybe look more into, say, the Jeffrey Epstein story? Should be the story of a century. You would have millions of people paying attention. No, we can't go there.
Release the flight logs.
We'll be right back.
not know whether he's coming or going. But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Looking for insurance, or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today.
A fun vibe, a unique company culture, and only the best benefits. That's what makes for a winning work environment, and that's what you'll find at Wind Creek. Recently voted a top 10 employer in Alabama by Forbes magazine, Wind Creek is the place for flexible hours, competitive pay, and generous time off. Lots of positions open, including prep cooks, line cooks, and kitchen workers for our new food hall. Just stop by the Employment Center Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Your career is waiting.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From a little fender bender to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For over 35 years, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather. Well, hi, everybody. We've got a lot of good weather news to talk about in the week ahead. Today, abundant sunshine and comfortable on the humidity levels with a high in the middle 80s, mostly clear, comfortably cool tonight, low 59. Tomorrow and Wednesday, more sun, still dry, tolerable humidity, high in the upper 80s both days, low 60s on Tuesday night, and not much change Thursday and Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
We're redesigning financial freedom at CB&S Bank. Make purchases at participating stores and restaurants using your CB&S Bank debit card through your mobile devices with Mobile Wallet. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for more information. Member FDIC.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. And really, we're just reacting to this Trump interview a few minutes into it. Trump is meeting the press again. And of course, folks, you can always watch the live stream, Joey Clark Live. Search for the YouTube channel, Joey Clark Live on YouTube. And just like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
We'll continue to try to grow the audience. And we're going to also continue to try to improve how good this sounds, all the bells and whistles that we can operate through a live stream. Of course, you can also watch on Facebook as well as Twitter.
If you really want to get some viewers, we could do that whole shirt exchange you did.
You want me to go shirtless?
In the break room, it worked earlier.
I'm looking all right. I need to lose about 20 pounds.
You got Jay's attention, didn't you?
Yeah. No, I'm looking.
I think you're looking wonderful.
I'm looking fairly built, but I could lose some weight. I got that.
Why?
Got that gut.
Let me go ahead and tell you. You need a little bit on you because you might get sick one day. You need to have that extra reserve, Joey. Mm-hmm. Always keep some extra reserve on you.
Yeah, but when I try to enjoy my time with the lady, I don't want it to look like a belly-to-belly suplex.
I understand that. Get a skinnier woman, you'll be fine.
That's just uncalled for. I'm the one who's.
Hey,
anyway.
Yeah, get more trouble.
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me, all right? On subjects like that, you better shut your mouth real quick. So let's go back. This is Donnie from Queens sitting out with Kristen Welker. I don't know how much longer I can take this, though, because it is about Like, there's a reason I don't watch corporate media. And
I know.
it really is two different worlds. But in all, if I can be fair, Kristen Welker's good at her job. I just think the job she signed up to do is not the most wholesome.
It's just difficult to watch when they interview Trump, to hold him to the standard that they don't hold others to.
Right.
That's the whole issue I have. If they held that standard to everyone they interviewed, I'd be your biggest champion.
Well, but you see this too with like somebody like Vivek Ramaswamy, where he again has laid out a foreign policy vision, and they tried to like boil it down into a 2-minute. Well, what about this? And it's we are dumb, and we don't care about evidence. We care about narrative. We care about story. We care about our team winning.
Yeah.
And I want more stuff because I deserve it.
I do want more stuff.
Yeah. That's going to really lead us to more prosperity. Let's continue on with Trump and Kristen Welker.
I know, but
Top law
Kristen, you can't say
enforcement officials have
they have
told you that
thousands
that's
of pictures of
debunked.
people. I know you have to say that for your network, but you shouldn't say it. Because that's the problem.
But Mr.
The
President,
news has lost such power.
Let's stay on track, though, Mr. President.
Don't start don't knock my profession. I'm here to knock you.
Don't talk about one of the main issues that people now understand and care about on the right, like structural issues, in particular the way corporate media controls the conversation. Let's see if he can keep going here, despite her trying to stop him at the crossroads there.
No, but you're saying it hasn't. We have thousands of essentially motion pictures of people stuffing the ballot boxes.
But Mr. President,
tens of thousands.
They're not stuffing the ballot boxes, and you've been told that by your top law enforcement officials. But let's stay on track because we have so much ground to cover.
You have people that went and voted in one place, another place, as many as I understand, 28 different places in one day with 7, 8, 9 ballots apiece. They can't do anymore because it would look too phony. These were professional people. They were stuffing the ballot boxes. It's there. I mean, it's there to see. A lot of people don't like looking at it.
60 different cases all across the country. You lost that, but let's stay on track.
We lost because the judges didn't want to hear them.
Yeah, they wouldn't give him
Right,
standing. He wouldn't get
yeah.
the evidentiary aspects of it.
Mr. President,
But if this were ever before a court, we would win so easy. There is so much evidence that the election was rigged. And you may not even put the section on your show, and you'll have to decide what you want to do. But people know it was rigged. Look, the media, when I first got involved in politics.
As you know, there's no evidence of that. We have so many different
tremendous evidence.
I want to talk about what a
Listen, let me ask you this. You agree there was Twitter files, right?
Mr. President.
You agree there were 51 intelligence agents that lied. You agree with
I'm
that?
not the one who's being interviewed. Let's
Well, no.
stay on track because I want to talk about
That's rigging the election.
Oh, wait. I'm not being interviewed, but I can also constantly insert my
Yes.
opinion in a particular direction. That's a
Right.
fun trick right there. Though, as an interviewer, and Coach has done this to me, so has Katie, Senator Britt, excuse me.
Flip it on you?
Like well, Joey, what do you think? Hey. I'm not
Don't make this
Kristen
about
Welker
me.
here. I'm not Sean Hannity, who constantly can't shut up. All right?
Oh, you didn't win the popularity contest. They did.
That's true. Let's keep going here.
Voters want to hear about, Mr. President. Let's talk about what's happening on Capitol Hill right now.
Oh, that's what we want to hear about.
Announced that he was launching an impeachment inquiry.
Who cares? I know so many of y'all still hooked on. Who cares? Okay, look, Reuters poll: 41% think support the impeachment of Joe Biden. Isn't that good, Eddie? 35% oppose, and 24% of Americans polled by Reuters are unsure about this whole Joe Biden impeachment. Do we think Biden is going to be convicted?
No.
Do you think he's even going to be impeached? Is he going to be kicked out of? No.
No.
But this is what voters care about, because this is what we tell them to care about.
Right.
Because this is all they get when they watch our show.
The only options they have.
I shouldn't have. Sorry, I need this paper for later.
Yeah, nothing ruins a great dramatic moment than needing what you just threw away.
Yeah, I just want to rip off that one top part there.
I understand.
But the impeachment matters so much here. Anyway, let's keep going with this.
This week into President Biden. Do you see this as a part of the retribution that you see?
No, not at all. I think, look, you look at the terrible things that have been happening with respect to Biden. Look at everything. Jamie Comer, Jim Jordan, who are fantastic people and very legitimate people. I watched Jamie Comer just a little while ago talking about a lot of different facets of what's going on. And he was the one that said, I guess there are 12 things where it looks like it's stone cold guilty. And the gun charge is only one of the 12. He said this is the only one that doesn't implicate Joe Biden.
So, but my question for you, did you talk to Speaker McCarthy about this House impeachment inquiry?
No, I don't talk to him.
Tell him that he should open a House
No, I don't do that. I don't think he'd do that. I mean, he wouldn't do it based on me, no.
Did you talk to your Republican allies on Capitol Hill and say you should support this?
No, I don't have to talk. They're more proactive than I am. They think it's terrible. I will say this, they think I was treated very unfairly. I mean, when I was impeached for a perfect phone call, and now it turned out to be perfect, I hope you will admit that at least, because I was right, 100% right. But I was impeached for a perfect phone call, and how sad that is. And we had 196-0 vote for Republicans, very unusual for the Republican Party. I was so proud of them. 196, the entire House, not one person dissented. And then other than Romney, who sort of gave me half a vote, but we had 100% in the Senate. People think I was treated very unfairly.
Well, the people who voted
I know I was treated.
The people who voted.
I know it.
Just ask me.
Actually, Trump seems like he's his old self in this. Like, pretty good energy, not manic energy like he had in that one debate. And he's not tired. Like, that announcement he did at Mar-a-Lago, he seemed worn down. No, he seemed like his old self here. And we'll play more of this going into the next hour. But it's fascinating to watch all this development and the rehashing of all these old topics. But at the end of the day, wait, one side believes this, the other side believes that. Who's being convinced by anything like evidence?
Nothing.
272-9228. Yeah, why don't you try to prove why you're justified in stealing the people's wealth and liberty every day? You can't. You just do it because you can.
You can.
Not because you're right. 272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by New Look Decorating Center. And they're at New Look Decorating Center. Well, Brett Lanham and the team are ready to help you with, so many of your paint and stain options. But they also have someone there to help you with wallpaper and fabrics.
That they do, Joey.
That person is named Katie. Go ask for Katie there at New Look Decorating Center if you're interested in wallpapers and fabrics, in particular this Tebow wallpaper that's all the rage these days. And you recently looked through a house where you saw some of this fabric we're talking about, right?
Yes, I didn't even know there was such a thing as fabric on a wall. Me, a realtor who knew. And I've got to do something about the fabric that's on this wall.
Because it's old?
It's old, and it's like canvas or something. It's really weird. It's not something I want to work with.
Because I can, like a movie theater has fabric on the walls, right?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. All I could think about was 70s shag carpet on a wall.
Oh, well, that's a little much.
Yeah, I've seen some since then where there's like different types of fabric, even like a suede on a wall, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
So, I've got to be able to do something else besides this canvas we got.
And, of course, again, they have those Benjamin Moore paint and stain supplies. Whether you're doing it yourself or you're contracting out the job, New Look Decorating Center is the place to go for that high-quality Benjamin Moore paint. So check them out today. You can always call them at 271-0007. That's 271-0007. Or go to newlookdecoratingcenter.com. But really the best way to work with New Look Decorating, go by that showroom.
Oh, definitely.
6237 Atlanta Highway. It's right where Bell Road dead ends to Atlanta Highway. They've got their own traffic light, folks. You'll see it there in all its glory. Benjamin Moore's New Look Decorating Center. And be sure to tell Brett, the manager, Ryan Carr, the owner, Jordan or Katie, the paint specialist there, be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the afternoon sent you. More News and Views, well, after this.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The auto workers strike now on its fourth day. No signs of an early breakthrough that might end the strike, and the UAW now threatening to escalate their walkout against Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis. A person of interest has been detained in the investigation of the fatal shooting of a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy. It happened Saturday in Palmdale. A tape package containing several $1,000s worth of fentanyl was discovered inside the New York City daycare center where a 1-year-old child died of an opioid overdose last week. But the owner of the daycare center maintained she had no knowledge of the presence of the highly potent opioid. The Dow is ahead 73 points, and the NASDAQ is up 30 points. This is SRN News.
The government is spying on you. No surprise, I know. But did you know the banks are helping them? And did you know that withdrawing your cash from the bank can be very risky? That's right. Let Swiss America educate you about this. Banks are now required to spy on us for the government, and they report any behavior they think is suspicious. You'll be shocked when you read The Secret War on Cash from Swiss America. This new war against cash is really a war against the Constitution, against all freedom-loving Americans. You must read The Secret War on Cash. Get your free copy by calling or texting 800-266-6082. That's 800-266-6082. This war on cash is growing daily, and it also includes all forms of digital money. So please get and read The Secret War on Cash free by calling or texting right now at 800-266-6082. That's 800-266-6082. Message and data rates may apply.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, serving the river region with the best quality building materials for decades. Contractor to do-it-yourselfer. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We've got a lot of good weather news to talk about in the week ahead. Today, abundant sunshine and comfortable on the humidity levels with a high in the middle 80s. Mostly clear, comfortably cool tonight, low 59. Tomorrow and Wednesday, more sun, still dry, tolerable humidity, high in the upper 80s both days, low 60s on Tuesday night, and not much change Thursday and Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
ASE Credit Union makes auto loans easy with rates as low as 4.75% APR. Apply online or visit your local branch today. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
1819 News.
Changes have been made to the meeting scheduled by the Alabama Medical Cannabis Commission. That meeting was scheduled for this Tuesday, September 19th, but has since been canceled. The AMCC says that the cancellation was due to the continued dialogue that's occurring between the AMCC's lawyers and those who filed a lawsuit against the AMCC. Since those negotiations are ongoing, the AMCC says that they have no new business to consider this week. The next meeting that's been put on the calendar is for October 12th. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Brian Dawson here, CEO of 1819 News. I'm also the host of 1819 News, the podcast, and we'd love for you to join us by listening to our weekly show on all the top podcast apps, both in audio and video format. At 1819 News, the podcast, we are in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama. Every week, we're having important conversations with guests from across this great state, all with the goal of equipping Alabamians to be in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama with us. New episodes are released weekly. I hope you'll join us.
4 men in Coffee County are charged with drug possession and trafficking after police seized 2,000 grams of illegal narcotics. The search occurred at a home in Enterprise last Friday. The Coffee County Sheriff's Deputy seized marijuana, cocaine, kratom, and oxycodone. A road resurfacing project is underway in Colbert County. 60 miles of county roads will be resurfaced with asphalt. The project will cost $6 million. County engineer Jerry Robinson told WAFF News that $3.6 million is coming from the Rebuild Alabama Act and $1.5 million from the County Commission as part of the ARPA federal money that they received. The Ross Bridge Golf Course out of Hoover is going to be opening up soon after a major problem with their greens. The wrong herbicide spray was administered back in September of 2022, destroying 14 of the 18 courses. New greens are in place, and the opening date has been set for October 13th. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Picture this. A serene, tranquil resting place surrounded by nature's beauty. A place where memories are cherished and loved ones are forever remembered. We're talking about your final resting place, and it's never too early to start planning for it. Pineview Memorial Gardens in Wetumpka has been family owned and operated for over 55 years. We understand the importance of pre-need planning. You can make decisions that reflect your personal wishes. You can choose the perfect location, whether it's a serene garden, a peaceful mausoleum, or a place in our cremation wall. Pre-need planning alleviates the burden from your loved ones during a time of grief. By planning ahead, you can secure today's prices, protecting yourself and your family from future cost increases. So why wait? Contact Pineview Memorial Gardens in Wetumpka today. Your final resting place should be a reflection of your unique journey. Take control of your future and make pre-need planning a priority. Pineview Memorial Gardens in Wetumpka, where memories live on.
Hey, Tammy, let me tell you about how to bring in those big deer.
Randy, I know how to attract the big bucks.
Ha ha, very funny. At Prattville Farm Center, we've been helping hunters be successful for over 35 years.
We have the products, supplies, and knowledge you need to get those big bucks.
That's right, Tammy. We don't believe in gimmicks or magic seed. We just believe in sound planting practices that work.
So come see us today at 1154 South Memorial Drive in Prattville.
Now that we're done talking about those big bucks, how about those cute does?
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the house. And, again, folks, we are doing this live stream here. And so folks can comment on the live stream. One of our more regular listeners and commenters is a fellow who goes by the name The Romex Angler. And I have to say, Eddie, this fella kind of confuses me.
How's that, Joey?
Because he'll say things that are incredibly wise, like this. There's nothing you can do to fix the system. But he's not being a defeatist or despairing or anything. He says, The world is always run on haves and have-nots. Enjoy your life while you can and try to shine some light in the darkness.
Okay.
Well, that's is a great message.
Yeah.
A man who can make a message like that, who could put a message out like that so wise, then turns around and says, no need for me to remind you that your choice of hat today is garbage. You can do better. Well, War Eagle.
War Eagle, baby.
You must be a Bammer.
Yep.
And I know you're having a rough time now. So, wait. Are you a Georgia fan?
Man, Georgia almost took one this weekend.
Yeah.
In fact, I might have texted Eric a little prematurely, gave him a hard time.
You do have to wonder what the heck is going on with the SEC. But
dude, it's a struggle bus this year, man.
Folks, if you want to join the live stream, just go to Joey Clark Live on YouTube. That's Joey Clark Live on YouTube, the name of the channel. Subscribe and like the live stream.
Like and subscribe.
Folks. Let's go to GW. Hey, GW.
Hey, I have been listening to your radio station this morning, but I really have a theory that I want to put out.
All right.
And maybe it can gain some traction, or maybe you can find something out about it, or maybe you've heard something about this already. It involves, you kind of question why the Democrats would still keep Joe Biden on the ticket at the present time when, according to the polls, he's so way down underwater and so has such a large disapproval. And a lot of people think, of course, he's just a puppet president, which I agree with that. But right now you have, in theory, you do have more illegal immigrants coming over the southern border than any time in history.
Yep.
Not knowing this, It's a fact. Now, I'm telling you, this is a theory.
Mhm.
And I don't know what paperwork is involved in voter registration or collecting votes. But as they come over the border, let's suppose they get all the paperwork filled out for each individual that comes over the border to be a registered voter and to mark the ballot in paper for Biden. And when they go to whatever states they're going to, like in Minnesota, they got 80,000 illegal immigrants they're trying to push to have driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want to have the driver's license? So they can vote.
And also
they already got the paperwork filled out that their vote's going to be for Biden. That's 80,000 votes. Anyway.
Well, this is why I'll put it to you this way, GW. I don't know whether or not what you said is true, but here's where I have and that's fair. I would say, though, what you just laid out is more and more plausible given all the play in the joints in the current system, especially this mass mail-out and mail-in voting system.
Yeah.
I think the French tried it for a while, got rid of it.
Got rid of it. Why?
Yeah, and I think it leaves it ripe for all sorts of fraud and abuse. And then you look at how these, when Trump says it's rigged, this is what I've been hanging my hat on. There were many states in question where it was not done the proper way, all these changing of the rules. And so if they're able to change the rules in an emergency, I mean, it's not like they'll just come up with another one. Or they can essentially do this mass mail-out voting where, the people voting are doing it in the most passive way possible. And you can kind of collect all these things. Yeah, of course people are going to be suspicious. And I'm just amazed that, well, I guess I'm not. People want to win, despite how it affects the rest of the country.
Very selfish.
Well, when you look at what happened in Atlanta, where they had it on video, where when all the poll watchers left, all of a sudden they pulled out all these boxes, and they want to tell you, well, those weren't illegal ballots, so those ballots had already been counted. I mean, you got it on video. That's like you got it on video. Somebody's robbing a bank. They say, well, we didn't rob the bank. What you saw on video wasn't really what you saw.
That's been so many things from the administration here lately. You catch them in a flat-out lie, and they just say, no, that's not what you saw. And, and just refuse to acknowledge any kind of truth kills me.
Well, and they love to say back to anything, no evidence. And then you'll hear somebody say, oh, this money we're giving to Ukraine, best money we ever spent, with no evidence.
No evidence.
Saddam Hussein, of course he's got a reconstituted chemical weapons and even nuclear weapons program, possibly. He might even be working with Al-Qaeda. No evidence, guys. Afghanistan's going great. We're not going to spend another 15 years here with all sorts of graft and corruption. Well, you have no evidence for it. We're a democracy. I'm not seeing the evidence for that either. We can play this game both ways.
Yeah. Well, the reason I brought that up, maybe it could gain some traction if there's a discussion, if no one's thought about that. But that makes a lot of sense.
Well, and I'm overdue having Greg Phillips of True the Vote back on the show, but I will reach out through Brian Dawson, get Greg on the show.
All right. You take care. Have a good day.
Thank you, GW.
Thank you, GW.
Appreciate the call, sir. Let's go to Doug from Titus. Hey, Doug, how you doing?
Good afternoon, Joey. Good afternoon, Eddie.
How you doing, Doug?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm loving this weather. Man, it was 59 degrees in Titus this morning.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was beautiful. Nice, crisp, and cool.
Mm-hmm.
First time I've worn long sleeve shirt in several months. Joey, I wanted to offer your opinion, even though you're much junior to me in years. Do you think that Donnie from Queens, do you think that he keeps taking the invitations for these gotcha interviews just to remind you that he doesn't put up with their BS? Or why do you, what value do you think he gets out of those interviews?
I think there are, number one, a lot of folks who love Trump who like seeing him fight against these types of folks. I think Trump also understands, and say somebody like a Vivek understands this because he's done a lot of these too with the corporate media, that it would be nice if we didn't have to talk to him at all. That you could just go on podcasts or alternative media and everything would be great. But still, there are a lot of folks who tune into NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox News, CNN and the like.
on
So
there.
you still got to address those millions, and you might be entering into a hostile environment, but there is in that hostile environment opportunity for you to shine in a way you wouldn't have the opportunity in a friendly environment. So there's a lot of upside, even though there's risk.
Yeah, I guess that does make sense. I mean, obviously that he, I know those interviews get a lot of viewership, even if it's not live. You know, you can always go back and get them through archives. Hey, real quick, before I forget, and then I'll let y'all go get back to your other millions of callers, since your show was so popular. I went to XI Repair Friday. I was getting these uninvited pop-ups on my phone, ads, and the only way I could get rid of them was to restart my device. And this was happening for like 2 weeks. Of course, they fixed it in 10 minutes. And then I asked them, I'm an Android guy, but anyway, I asked them about a refurbished Android that I was thinking about getting. Their price they quoted me, Joey, was $20 cheaper than eBay.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So if you guys need to upgrade, but you don't want to upgrade at the rate of $1,100 to $1,200, go see XI Repair. They have got better prices on refurbished phones than eBay.
There you go, folks. And I appreciate you telling the audience, Doug. Thank you for that.
And I'm enjoying the show. Y'all need to have one of these shows now that the heat is broken, y'all dock.
Sure, I'm down.
I know you could make it happen and still do the YouTube live thing. I mean, everybody, you got internet. Y'all need to make that happen. Enjoy some Corona. Well, I'm pretty sure you don't drink that nasty stuff like me and Eddie do, but I think that'd be really, really cool.
It would be.
If upper manglement, as Greg calls it, if upper manglement would permit it, I think it would be a really cool show.
Well, and I think
a lot of views.
We could have a lot of fun. I think there's technically a rule where you can't drink on the air, but there's an exception for Busch Light because that's not really drinking.
It is if you drink enough, Joey.
Hey,
guys, I know.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you so much for taking my calls, guys.
See ya.
And as Doug was saying, XI Repair, folks, we might as well just do it now. Like, they have those incredible refurbished phones, whether Android or Apple. They also can sell you brand new ones.
Sure.
You know, all this noise being made about the new iPhone 15 with the titanium.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool. I like Apple products.
Well, a lot of people
it's cool.
want to be up on that up-to-date new
But
thing.
it's probably a ridiculous arm and a leg that
can't
you're going to
imagine.
give up to get that thing. Why not go, like, this iPhone 10 we're using
Hey,
to
what
film.
I bought the 11. You've got the 10.
Yeah, you can get it
Saved
for
a ton of money.
a lot less than anything.
And it works
brand
as
new.
good as good as a brand new iPhone, especially for me. I wanted it mainly for pictures and for video, and Jonathan said this is the one you come in at. And I did like Doug. I went to eBay first. I sent my stuff to Jonathan. He kind of giggled. He goes, "I can still beat it," and he beat the price.
There you go. And as you just also heard Doug say, they can help you if your phone's acting funky, like in a virus sort of way.
Exactly.
Or it could be you dropped it in the toilet or the lake or the pool or something, water damage. Maybe you left it out overnight and got dew and stuff on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Or it could be a cracked screen or a battery not holding a charge or a dirty port where your charger's not connecting. Whatever it is, XI Repair can fix it. They can also do work on computers, desktop, laptop computers, top-end gaming consoles, and they can even do data recovery services for things either accidentally or purposely deleted. So check them out today. You can always go to xirepair.com, start a job online, and get an immediate quote at xirepair.com, or give them a call at 777-1234. That's 777-1234. And be sure to tell those fine folks there at XI Repair that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the Afternoon sent you. Bonus points if you say, "Hey, Doug from Titus was such a great call. I've stopped by." Let's go to Papa B. Hey, Papa B.
All right, Papa B.
Papa B, how you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm doing great. Yeah, you know, you see these articles in the paper, the unfounded claims of Trump and the debunked claims of the, fraud in the election, constantly. They editorialize at the same time they're reporting, always, as if they know. And these are the same people that forwarded the lies of the CIA, FBI, et al. For 3 years about the claims of the Russian stuff and the impeachment of Trump, it all just goes on and on and on. No amount of gaslighting can cover this up, not anymore. Who are you going to believe, them or your lying eyes?
Mm-hmm.
I believe my eyes.
Mine too.
I see it. We all saw it. So Trump is right again, just as he was the whole time that they were trying to impeach him. First, for one thing, then another. And the latest thing, of course, is all these trials and indictment. Fannie Willis is case in point. The RICO charge.
All right.
Now, RICO is a federal crime. Why is a county prosecutor prosecuting a federal crime?
How can she do that? How come no one in her field of work said you can't do that? They just let this BS go on.
Yeah, exactly.
And you see right
It just
now,
shows you.
Hunter is suing the IRS for simply trying to embarrass him, is what they said. What have they been doing to Donald Trump from day one?
Exactly. Exactly. Well, and I think finally somebody has said, looking and said, wait a minute. She can't indict or bring charges on a federal crime. I'm telling you, man, she doesn't have a case to begin with. And even if she did have a case, it's not her bailiwick. I'm telling you, I heard this, and somebody's going to have to look it up for me. But they wanted to bring other charges that were more along the lines of what a county prosecutor could charge. But not one judge in Fulton County could actually take the case. They all had to recuse themselves from it for first one thing or then another.
Because they're guilty. Because they're guilty of something. Something tied to that. No doubt. No doubt.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, I just had another thought. There was this kidnapping plot to take out Governor Gretchen Whitmer. No evidence.
Yeah,
no evidence.
They just let a couple of them, or acquitted a few of them.
Three of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Two of them twins, by the way.
I'm telling you, man.
Twins come in three, other than two?
Two twins.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I thought it was twins were by definition a pair.
We're just going to change. We're going to upend the whole universe in order to make our, lives possible and make our power possible. I don't know, man. I don't think they're going to get away with it.
They're getting away with it thus far.
See, I think the wheels are falling off. If I had to guess, if I had to put money on it, they're going to put Trump in prison and they're going to take Biden out too. The Democratic Party is going to handpick somebody, and the Republican establishment is going to try to handpick somebody, probably Nikki Haley. So, if it was up to the folks that actually run Washington D.C., the donor class, it would be probably like Gavin Newsom and Nikki Haley, which is just miserable to think about.
It is. Don't even say it. Don't speak it. No, I don't know, man. I think you're right. I think the wheels are coming off. It's been a long, slow process, and certainly a lot slower than I would have even thought it would be. But look, the television media is such a powerful force.
Yeah.
You can put something on TV claiming it's fact, and the lemmings will believe it so no matter what. No matter what. And so, that has got to somehow be mitigated, hopefully in the course of our lifetime. I just, this is the rumor has it thing, or time for me. Rumor has it that Michelle Obama is actually a man. Now, I don't know. I think he is. But now, who in the world is going to actually sit there and find out? One way or the other.
It's your job.
I'm sure there are some folks
as an American citizen, I believe it's your job to go find out for sure.
Don't put that on Papa B. He's a grandfather. He's got a family to look out for.
No, not my turn to lift the dress. I'll leave that up to somebody else.
So maybe we could train like a cat.
Something.
What's he going to do, his head?
Somebody has got to,
no, just get up on her.
Telling the truth about things. Now, I'd like to find out what's real and what's not, because there's so many things that
I do wonder why Tucker did that Larry Sinclair interview.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it's a he said situation where okay, Pixar didn't happen, bro. But why would Tucker present that story in that way? It makes me wonder if Michelle is rumored to run. The rumors are out there. So.
I know, man. It's a lot of things like that. But anyway, all right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Papa B.
See you, Papa B.
272-9228. Ah, yes, Master Thespian.
Master Thespian.
Hello.
Hello.
What was that?
What Papa B was talking about is something called a classical rhetorical fallacy known as begging the question. When somebody puts unfounded claims as opposed to just saying claims, they're already trying to argue a conclusion without presenting any evidence. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But when you say unfounded, you're supposed to say where you got that information, or debunked. I hear that all the time. Well, that's already been debunked. Okay, by whom? You know, if you push them on that, they can't tell you who, because this falls into confirmation bias. If somebody says something that you agree with, you go with it, whether it's true or not, whether there's evidence or not. If you believe it, then you're going to go along with what that person said.
Oh yeah, and we've had the discussion before. You go find a list of logical fallacies from appeal to authority to false inductions or non sequiturs or begging the question or personal attack, slippery slope, all this stuff. And you look at that and you go, this seems like a great playbook for running a political campaign.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Our system is not based on evidence and logic. Our system is based on defamation, emotional blackmail, and narrative.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You push the emotional button, get people to feel a certain way, get them to panic, and they will do what you ask them to do because you've got the plan. You know, it's that it's my way or the highway thing that you get all the time from politicians. Well, either we pass this bill or all these billions of children are going to die and grandparents are going to, kill themselves. Well, maybe there's a third option. Maybe there's not just one or the other. Maybe there's a fourth option. But you're not, because there's something you want to, some agenda you want to push, you're not presenting all the options. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely makes sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, the biggest issue is that people are voting with their emotions and not with their logic. They're not looking at evidence. People don't want to take the time to look at the evidence, and that's bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the whole population is turned into women. I'm right because I'm right.
Ooh, Joey.
Yeah.
Think I'm exaggerating?
No, I just can't believe you went there.
I'm just telling the truth. I'm not running for office. I appreciate it, Master Thespian.
All right, y'all be good. Thanks.
Thank you. 272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And their River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and his team are ready to help you. They are the premier roofing contractor here in the River Region. So whether you have an asphalt or a metal roof, those should both, either one, be inspected every 3 to 5 years for basic preventative maintenance. For instance, with asphalt shingles, they only last about 12 to 18 years without inspection.
Right.
And, that's just wear and tear. That's just normal wear and tear.
Normal living life here in Alabama.
12 to 18 years is a pretty good time period for a roof that's gone uninspected. But here's the deal. Maybe you recently had that roof inspected, but some storms rolled through.
Yeah.
You saw some bad branches fall there on the roof. You're wondering, did that do something? I'm not climbing up there.
Heard that thump in the middle of the night. What was it?
Right. So what you can do is, just for peace of mind, call up River Region Contracting at 356-8635. And here's the good news. That inspection, free. And if they do find a problem, that estimate, free.
Free.
And, hey, also, they're insurance specialists. So if they do find a problem with your roof that your insurance company might cover, they can walk you through that claims process and make it an easy and swift experience. So, again, give River Region Contracting, the premier roofing contractor here in the River Region, a call today. 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them, you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. More News and Views, after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Actor portrayal, based on a real patient experience.
I'm Mike. I'm a husband, proud father of 2, work my butt off 6 days a week, some nights too. When my family or my company needs me to make it happen, I make it happen. But a few months ago, I started having trouble making it happen, in the bedroom. I tried some pills online, but they didn't work. Honestly, I thought about throwing in the towel on my sex life, but I'm not that old. I still want to enjoy intimacy with my wife. Like that poet said, I don't want to just go gently into that good night. So I went to Montgomery Men's Health, got some lab work done, was prescribed some meds, and wow, it made it happen. I can't say enough good about them. They took care of me, followed up, and made adjustments to make it happen even better. I even learned I had low testosterone, which they were also treating me for. And I have never felt better. If I were you and you're like me, I'd give them a call today at 334-440-3663 or go to montgomerymenshealth.com. If you like most guys, they'll make it happen for you too.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back, folks. We just had one of those off-air conversations that we love to have, but we cannot share on air. Sucks for you. 272-9228. Reminder that we are now live streaming the show. You can see my and Eddie's very handsome faces here. And just go to YouTube. Joey Clark Live is the name of the channel. Joey Clark Live. Like and subscribe. We'll be doing this Monday through Friday unless some technical thing happens. Let's go to Thunder. Hey, Thunder.
Well, good afternoon. I hope everyone had a reasonable weekend. Interesting comments regarding President Trump and the circumstances with those votes. I have one question that's probably a little different than most people have been asking. Everybody says, prove to me that Trump won. I say instead, prove to me that he didn't win. Prove to me that Joe Biden actually got 81 plus million legitimate votes. And guess what? You can't. On either question. You cannot. For that reason alone, people need to stop and realize what the individuals who stole this election have done to their country, because they didn't just steal that election from Donald Trump. They stole that election from me. And I don't like it when people take things that don't belong to them. Everybody needs to understand this was not Donald Trump's election. That presidency, that White House, does not belong to any of those individuals who have been so graced to be able to sit in it. It belongs to the people of this country. The people of this country were stolen from, period. Those who don't like that statement, prove to me that I'm wrong. And you can't. Because when you start to attempt to prove to me that I'm wrong, you prove that we're right. And there's absolutely nothing you can do to stop that fact. That is exactly what the people who are currently holding the anti-American communist regime in power today are so fearful from. And that's why we have so many of our patriots that are going to prison for decades, is to attempt to keep us silent and in fear. And if Washington thinks that we're in fear, they ain't seen nothing yet. January 6th was a peaceful gathering. Those in Washington are scared hopeless that the next time it won't be peaceful. People need to start thinking on terms of not, well, prove that Donald Trump won the election. No. Prove to me that he didn't. Prove to me that Biden won. Please do. I've yet to have a single person whom I have spoken with, and I know everybody thinks, God, she gets on her high horse, and man, nobody wants to talk to her again after it. No, I've had a lot of very sane and reasonable conversations about it. Prove to me that he didn't. That's all I'm asking you to do. And if you can't, because you cannot, then he didn't lose. Then Donald Trump was elected president. Because there's no way in bloody Hades that I will ever believe that Joe Biden got 81 million votes. You look at his speeches, and the few people standing behind him all look like, oh God, I'd really rather be somewhere else other than here. The event in Hawaii, the three guitar players or ukulele players that were standing behind him all looked embarrassed. The kids that are standing, other than the few that have their little bobble heads on, they all are not happy about being there. Look at their faces. Not only do those of us who believe President Trump was vilified, those other individuals know as well. And sooner or later, they will have to face those facts and grow up and accept it and accept what they have done, or they will have to face the fact that they have destroyed the greatest nation that this world has ever known. And anyone who voted for Biden, please hope like hell you never have to face me for me to inform you. Oh, by the way, Mark, by the way, Art, you owe me about $40,000 because that's what you have cost me for your choices. Pay up. And yeah, one of these days I will get to tell them that.
Well, I appreciate...
Everybody else needs to hold them accountable too.
I appreciate the call, Thunder.
Thank you.
272-9228. You know, this part of the program. In fact, this entire hour.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage.
Those are wonderful folks over there, Joey. I know both of them very well.
And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. When Eddie says both of them, Kim Williams as well as Madeline Cannon, they can help you. Whether you're looking to buy a home, they can, seriously, somebody can go in a complete novice.
Oh, yeah.
Saying, I've never done this before. I don't know what to do. Well, they'll walk you through that home buying process. It all starts with pre-approval. You don't want to skip that step because what's going to happen is you're going to fall in love with the house and want to go make an offer and realize, oh, crap, I'm not pre-approved.
Exactly.
So get pre-approved so you know how much home you can afford. Then they can walk you through every step of the way, all the way to closing day. No surprises on closing day, but things like estimates, inspections, appraisals, they can do all that there as you go through that home buying process. And, of course, Alabama Home Mortgage can help you with a great refinance deal. They're all the rage these days because a lot of folks are sitting under mountains of, in particular, credit card debt.
A lot of credit card debt out there, Joey.
And even with mortgage rates 7, 8, 9, even 10% in some cases, that's a heck of a lot better than a 15, 20, 25, 30% APR on these credit card debts. So if you need to consolidate debt or just get that credit card debt just off your back completely, Alabama Home Mortgage can help you do that. So call them today, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. You can also visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. Now, I forgot about something until just now.
What?
We have some tickets to give away.
We got tickets?
And this shows how much of a team player I am. This shows, how I said earlier, I can't stand the corporate media, but I can say, if that one person's fine.
Yeah.
And I'm a team player.
I don't remember that part, but okay.
Now, I haven't talked to our promotions office about this, but I'm like, have you listened to the show? And I have a few, I have a few like arch enemies, right?
Oh, yes.
Who's one that comes to mind?
I don't want to call a name out on the radio, I'll be honest.
No, it's a big national name.
Oh, I don't know you had national problems.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of local people that don't like you.
Oh, no. Forget them. They're local. Who cares? They're like me. We don't matter.
Well, besides the Biden administration, who else you ready to irritate pretty well?
Well, here's my point, is normally this person is an arch enemy of mine.
Okay.
But I know other people appreciate him. I know other people buy his books. And I know other people would love to go see him November the 19th at the Montgomery Performing Arts Center at Impact. And that man is, well, let's pull it up on the screen here. Brian Kilmeade. Brian Kilmeade will be in Montgomery at Impact on November the 19th, and we have 4 pairs of tickets to give away.
Wow, we got 4 pairs of tickets?
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Red Top, then I'm going to go to a break, and then y'all stay tuned. I might announce a way to win these pairs of tickets.
Kilmeade.
To Brian Kilmeade, November the 19th. He's got a new book on Teddy and Booker T. I believe Teddy Roosevelt and Booker T. Washington. So
cool.
Doing that tour. Hey, Red Top, how you doing?
What a strange combination. Booker T. Washington and Teddy Roosevelt. And he's probably a strange combination himself, isn't he? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, you got you.
Oh, okay, good. I saw a long interview with Newt Gingrich, or maybe I heard it on the radio about Kevin McCarthy and all that, and shutting down the government, etc. And Newt said he was very encouraging about it. As a matter of fact, he said shut them down. It didn't really. Newt Gingrich did it twice, and actually got Bill Clinton to the negotiating table, and did a pretty good job on that. I'm not saying I like Newt Gingrich about everything, but that's one thing he did do correct.
Right.
So he said, let him bitch and moan. He doesn't think Kevin McCarthy's going anywhere. I don't know if you agree with that or not. What do you think, Joey?
Unless something very dramatic happens, I think Newt is correct on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they're going to try to pull a shutdown, according to all the TV news.
No, but they just put forth, the House GOP releases a short-term bill to avert a shutdown until the end of October, so they're kicking down the road a little more.
Yeah.
Yes. God, what a pitiful way to run a country.
Exactly.
And then the courts do all the lawmaking now, so we really have no budget, and the courts do all the legislating. So really, gosh, I don't know what the hell the legislature does to make things worse for us, guys. And it goes to the state too. But now they stopped altogether the legal marijuana process because it's so messed up they can't get to it.
Yep. Well, because you let the government get involved.
Yeah, and you know what? These guys aren't doing the job.
No.
We need to find out a way to dock their sorry asses pay. Who was it, John McMillan, that took up that job?
Yeah, he's the executive director of that commission, but I tend to think, Red Top, the nuts and bolts of the bill were not very sound. They didn't understand or take into account the amount of demand, especially at big population centers you would have in this state. Thus, every time they try to hand off the licenses, you get a lawsuit. And it's a big mess.
Yeah, they're not able to execute that. They're not able to give us the legalized gambling. They're not able to run the prisons. Our state government does not work. Well, one thing they can do, and just like the federal government, I brought this up to Greg, they are making 3 times the revenue they made 10 years ago because everything costs 3 times as much. So tell me one state or city official that's complaining about they're getting filthy rich off of us right now.
Oh, yeah.
Just because we're a consumer-driven economy. And I remember when those 3 words came out in the 1990s, I'm going, well, this is the ultimate formula for failure. So you throw out MMA, mining, manufacturing, and agriculture, and you put in a consumer-driven economy, you got what we have today.
There you go.
So I don't know how we're going to get out of this mess, boys. And by the way, they're talking about only edibles for legal marijuana. How pathetic.
Yeah, but I was in the bill from the get-go. They weren't going to do flour.
No.
Well, then...
I guess there's no way for you to get it now, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm just tired of the SOBs because medical marijuana is medical because people need it. So they don't give a damn how many people die from epilepsy or any other thing because they're too busy worrying about gummy and stuff like this. These are ruthless bastards, all of them. And, you know, like I say, they care about nobody's life. And if anybody thinks that they're going to stop like Thunder, I tell everybody, we have a national police force. And if the national police, federal government says, Montgomery policemen, you're going to arrest these people, they will do it. We do not have local policing anymore. That ended with the Patriot Act and Homeland Security.
Well, that's why you got to support your local sheriff and hope you elect the right person in that. I appreciate it, Red Top.
Thank you, folks. Roll Tide.
See you, brother.
272-9228. Yeah, but we are giving away pairs of tickets to Brian Kilmeade. He'll be here in Montgomery at Impact on November the 19th. Actually, what I'm going to do here is caller number 5. Caller number 5. Call in now, 272-9228. If you want a pair of these tickets to see Brian Kilmeade on November the 19th. We'll be right back.
Not know whether he's coming or going. But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Caller number 1, you're on the air. So sorry. Caller number 2, caller number 3, caller number 4, you were so close. So close. Caller number 5, who's this?
This is Ann Shackelford.
Hey, Ann, well, you won these tickets, a pair of tickets to go see Brian Kilmeade.
Wonderful!
Hot dog, congratulations.
And so what I'm going to do, Ann, is put you on hold, and Eddie's going to get your information. And congratulations. That should be a lot of fun in late November there.
Great. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Ann. Hold on just a second.
272-9228. We'll be giving these away throughout the week. You never know when I'll be asking for the special caller number. But, you know, I can be a team player, I'll put it that way. More news and views when we come back.
Do you have a cell phone or tablet that isn't charging, dying fast, or maybe the screen is damaged? Don't get suckered into buying a new one. XI Repair can fix your current device same day and in under 30 minutes. Their certified technicians fix and recover data from thousands of cell phones, computers, tablets, game consoles, and drones 7 days a week. Give them a call today at 334-777-1234 or visit them online at xirepair.com.
Hello everyone, Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? we have an A+ Better business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, the best quality building materials in the river region for decades. From common builds to special orders and local delivery. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather. Well, hi, everybody. We've got a lot of good weather news to talk about in the week ahead. Today, abundant sunshine and comfortable on the humidity levels with a high in the middle 80s. Mostly clear, comfortably cool tonight, low 59. Tomorrow and Wednesday, more sun, still dry, tolerable humidity, high in the upper 80s both days, low 60s on Tuesday night, and not much change Thursday and Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors & More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors & More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way. Offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Plenty coming up today. In particular, we have Coach. He is the senior United States Senator for the great state of Alabama, Coach Tommy Tuberville. We'll be joining the show probably around 2:45, and I think the way we're going to play it is all our breaks will be done by then, so it'll be 15 minutes straight here at the end of the show with Coach Tommy Tuberville. We're going to talk about the military holds, but also the letter he has sent out trying to investigate how many and what type of folks, under what terms, were people, thousands of great Americans, kicked out of the military for refusing to take the COVID-19 vaccine. I, in fact, know one of those people.
No, a couple.
I got to know, when I went down to Florida for that big thing.
Yeah.
I got to know one of those guys. It just turned out, his name's Doug, and it just turned out that Doug and his wife and I just became fast friends. Like, we hung out a lot.
No, really?
You know how you go up to a place and
yeah.
you just find yourself, I like this person. And I got to know them, and for such a great guy and such a family man to be having to make that decision. I think he was a lieutenant colonel at the time when he was kicked out. So it's just something I'm happy that Coach Tuberville is looking into.
Me too.
Now, let's go to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing today?
Hey, Joey, how are y'all?
All right.
Well, we're doing all right. Just carrying on like the Wayward Sons we are, or something like that, for you classic rock fans. Now, speaking of classic rock, do y'all have amps that still work with kind of a classic turntable, like a phono input-output?
We have some audio-video receivers. We have an amplifier. And I want to say we may still even have some 2-channel receivers that you can still hook up a phonograph to.
Oh, cool.
and we have the phonographs in stock.
Okay, fantastic. Because I know some of those 2 channels are just incredible. Because I guess like they do one thing, so they're not trying to do all the bells and whistles. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
And then, of course, if somebody's trying to wire for sound for like a theater experience, you have those options as well, right?
We sure do. And one thing that I saw at Stevia when I was in Denver the other week, Anthem, which is a high-end electronic company kind of related to Paradigm, they have come out with a 5-channel amplifier. It's got HDMI input that you can actually install behind a TV on the wall.
Wow.
And it has all of the surround sound codecs built into it, so you can have 5 real speakers and your subwoofer in your room, all powered, without having to have extra ugly black boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I like that all day, every day. It's cool how the tech, especially for stocking in your home, continues to advance. And as an audiophile, I certainly appreciate that. I rewatched Braveheart last night, Michael, and that new TV you sold me. And it looked amazing. And by the way, Braveheart doesn't get old, folks. It still holds up. And I don't think it would be the same movie without that 5.1 surround I got going on right now.
Well, there's so much that happens in a good surround system because it's relying on the senses that you don't think that you're really using. You're visually, you're watching this big, beautiful picture, but when everything else happens on the sides of the room where there is no picture, I think that increases the intensity of the excitement of the movie.
There you go. And I like to feel that subwoofer, but again, that's just me. And if folks want to, pick your brain in this sort of expertise, they can just stop by the boulevard there, 2515 Eastern Boulevard?
Yes, sir. Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. We're here on Saturdays, 9 to 4. And, we just want to get you to come in so that we can ask you a bunch of questions. You can ask us questions, and we can help you make the right decision.
And that number is 277-8890. You can always go to thinkcohens.com. Incredible products, incredible electronics and appliances, but it's the
Great
people,
service.
it's the service that really stands out. There's a reason it's, are we at 65 plus years now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here with a couple that bought appliances from my dad 30 years ago.
Wow.
And they're here to replace the TV.
Oh, wow.
You can't buy that kind of advertising. So anyway, come see us.
Well, I appreciate the time, Michael. Talk again soon.
Have a great day.
Again, Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances, great sponsor here on the program. And honestly, they're going to take all my money.
Yeah.
I always think, I'm satisfied. It's like, I kind of want to
maybe you go there on the weekend and get you a sales gig. Use your partner. Work you a discount in there.
Some commission. How about me, you using me to help do walkthroughs with women of a certain age? Am I going to get that 1% commission?
Well, I did talk to her.
Well, and also I know who this is. She's not a cougar. She's a lovely young woman.
Yes, but she just had a birthday, so she's inching closer and closer to Cougarville.
That's just mean.
No, it's not. It's going to be hot.
All right, then. But let's see. Anything break in the news while we were yammering about, talking about Trump and all these things? Oh, yeah. Well, the top story continues to be on Drudge Report. Russell Brand accused of sex crimes.
I'm very surprised this hadn't came out a long time ago, just because
he was notorious for drug use,
Yep.
Promiscuous sex
Big
with
time.
all sorts of folks. He's written about it.
Right.
And why now?
Well, he's becoming a bit of a voice in the conservative movement, I think, a little bit. People are
He's
starting to
not
listen
even a
to him little bit.
conservative.
Right.
He's
but
a
people are-
socialist.
I think that's the thing, though. People are saying, wow, this guy, of all people, this guy's starting to make sense.
And he put out a response video. He said, well, they're coordinating these attacks because it's part of trying to silence people like me.
It's that cancellation process, buddy.
I think he might be onto something here. In fact, let's play this.
Hello there,
see
you
if it'll
awakening
pop
wonders.
up
Now, this
here
isn't the
one
usual
moment.
type of
He said.
video we make on this channel where we critique, attack and undermine the news in all its corruption, because in this story I am the news. I've received 2 extremely disturbing letters, or a letter and an email, one from a mainstream media TV company, one from a newspaper, listing a litany of extremely egregious and aggressive attacks, as well as some pretty stupid stuff like my community festival should be stopped, that I shouldn't be able to attack mainstream media narratives on this channel. But amidst this litany of astonishing, rather baroque attacks are some very serious allegations that I absolutely refute. These allegations pertain to the time when I was working in the mainstream, when I was in the newspapers all the time, when I was in the movies, and as I've written about extensively in my books, I was very, very promiscuous. Now, during that time of promiscuity, the relationships I had were absolutely always consensual. I was always transparent about that then, almost too transparent.
Well, and we can play the rest of it after top of the hour, but yeah, if you've watched any Russell Brand in the last few years, you can tell he's a different person than the guy you might remember from, like, Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Definitely a different person.
Very different man.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell he's gone through the recovery steps in a lot of different ways. And it's admirable, and it's fascinating also to listen to. Somebody that open, that transparent about their journey. So, and yes, lately he has been calling out establishment media. He's been calling out, in particular, corporate interests like Big Pharma. And I guess now they want to silence him.
What it sounds like, buddy.
It's fascinating how this works all of a sudden. But that's the name of the game. Defame, destroy, blackmail.
Whatever it takes.
This ain't about truth, logic, or evidence, folks. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. A man has been arrested in the ambush killing of a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy. The 29-year-old suspect surrendered at a home in the city of Palmdale early today. 30-year-old Deputy Ryan Klinkenbrummer was shot Saturday evening. Investigators still know no motive for the killing. Americans held for years in Iranian custody are free as part of a painstakingly negotiated deal between the United States and Iran. The prisoner swap saw the Biden administration agree to unlock nearly $6 billion in frozen Iranian assets. Traders almost universally expect the Fed to keep interest rates steady at its meeting this week, which ends on Wednesday. Stocks currently higher, the Dow up 44 points, and the NASDAQ is adding 20 points. This is SRN News.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, an evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word FAITH to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word FAITH to 989898 and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, serving the river region with the best quality building materials for decades. Contractor to do-it-yourselfer. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We've got a lot of good weather news to talk about in the week ahead. Today, abundant sunshine and comfortable on the humidity levels with a high in the middle 80s. Mostly clear, comfortably cool tonight, low 59. Tomorrow and Wednesday, more sun, still dry, tolerable humidity, high in the upper 80s both days, low 60s on Tuesday night, and not much change Thursday and Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
At ASE Credit Union, financing your next adventure is easier than ever with rates as low as 5.25%. Apply online or visit your local branch today. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
1819 News.
Changes have been made to the meeting scheduled by the Alabama Medical Cannabis Commission. That meeting was scheduled for this Tuesday, September 19th, but has since been canceled. The AMCC says that the cancellation was due to the continued dialogue that's occurring between the AMCC's lawyers and those who filed a lawsuit against the AMCC. Since those negotiations are ongoing, the AMCC says that they have no new business to consider this week. The next meeting that's been put on the calendar is for October 12th. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Brian Dawson here, CEO of 1819 News. I'm also the host of 1819 News, the podcast, and we'd love for you to join us by listening to our weekly show on all the top podcast apps, both in audio and video format. At 1819 News, the podcast, we are in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama. Every week, we're having important conversations with guests from across this great state, all with the goal of equipping Alabamians to be in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama with us. New episodes are released weekly. I hope you'll join us.
4 men in Coffee County are charged with drug possession and trafficking after police seized 2,000 grams of illegal narcotics. The search occurred at a home in Enterprise last Friday. The Coffee County Sheriff's deputy seized marijuana, cocaine, kratom, and oxycodone. A road resurfacing project is underway in Colbert County. 60 miles of county roads will be resurfaced with asphalt. The project will cost $6 million. County engineer Jerry Robinson told WAFF News that $3.6 million is coming from the Rebuild Alabama Act and $1.5 million from the County Commission as part of the ARPA federal money that they received. The Ross Bridge Golf Course out of Hoover is going to be opening up soon after a major problem with their greens. The wrong herbicide spray was administered back in September of 2022, destroying 14 of the 18 courses. New greens are in place, and the opening date has been set for October 13th. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
During Prattville Carpet's summer sale, you can get Mohawk waterproof flooring, regularly priced at $11 per foot installed, right now priced at $7 per foot installed. That's huge summer savings. And get interest-free financing for up to 12 months with approved credit. Call 285-8117 or visit PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Again, coming up at about 2:45, we'll have Coach Tommy Tuberville, U.S. Senator here from the great state of Alabama. Joey. And what we were watching just a second ago, and apparently this is the top news on Drudge Report, huge news across the pond. And at this point, Russell Brand has been a household name in the United States for a while, too. But I just find it interesting. As soon as somebody gains notoriety in the alternative media or the new media, and they start actually being effective against old media and disassembling how old media works, then you better believe, as sure as the sun rises, that you're going to see these attacks from one way or another. And how do you attack a guy who admits to have been a drug addict and a sex addict for a lot of his early young adult life? Well, you bring up all that stuff, even though he has been pretty honest and transparent about it himself. Where we left off is Russell Brand essentially saying that, hey, I did a lot of crazy things I've been transparent about before. There's one accusation essentially of rape and sexual assault that And by the way, when you try to read into this, like if I click on Drudge and go to the stories, it's kind of vague and all over the place. It's like this happened one day and then this happened the other day. Like he urinated in a bottle in front of women on his radio show. I'm like, well, that's not cool, but it's also like, why are you bringing that up like 10 years later? It just, it's stuff like that where you're like, huh? Like there's nothing in particular or that shocks me given, again, Russell Brand has been saying it himself, out forthright about all this, but let's continue on and see what he has to say.
And I'm being transparent about it now as well. And to see that transparency metastasized into something criminal that I absolutely deny makes me question, is there another agenda at play? Particularly when we've seen coordinated media attacks before, like with Joe Rogan when he dared to take a medicine that the mainstream media didn't approve of, and we saw a spate of headlines from media outlets across the world using the same language. I'm aware that you guys have been saying in the comments for a while, watch out Russell, they're coming for you, you're getting too close to the truth, Russell Brand did not kill himself. I know that a year ago there was a spate of articles, Russell Brand's a conspiracy theorist, Russell Brand's right wing. I'm aware of news media making phone calls, sending letters to people I know for ages and ages. It's been clear to me, or at least it feels to me, like there's a serious and concerted agenda to control these kind of spaces and these kind of voices. And I mean my voice along with your voice. I don't mind them using my books and my stand-up to talk about my promiscuous consensual conduct in the past. What I seriously refute are these very, very serious criminal allegations. Also, it's worth mentioning that there are witnesses whose evidence directly contradicts the narratives that these two mainstream media outlets are trying to construct, apparently in what seems to me to be a coordinated attack. Now, I don't want to get into this any further because of the serious nature of the allegations, but I feel like I'm being attacked, and plainly they are working very closely together. We are obviously going to look into this matter because it's very, very serious. In the meantime, I want you to stay close, stay awake, but more important than any of that, if you can, please stay free.
Russell Brand, folks. And
that's how you know you're getting a little too loud.
Right. It's interesting that that's now, it's coming out now in that way. It just seems awfully convenient.
Well,
Again,
it's an easy way to kill somebody's reputation. I mean, you just throw a little nugget out there like that on the internet, and hey.
Again, it's not about evidence.
Right.
It's not about the facts or good faith discussion. It's about defamation and narrative, emotional blackmail, all these sort of tricks they pull.
Again, you have enough people. Hey, this is what we're doing Monday morning. We're going to throw out this story or the weekend about Russell Brand. I need my army to share this.
And this shows like Joe Rogan's not a conservative.
Oh, that's what kills me. But that's
if you want to call him on the right, fine. I'll take that because that's a vague
But he is
category,
not a conservative by no
Russell
means.
Brand is not a conservative.
By no means either.
RFK Jr., not a conservative.
Nope.
This isn't a conservative liberal thing. This is a establishment, say populist, I don't know, divide. And it's plain as day the game they're playing here. Hold on real quick. Before we go to this call, we got to get a little more of this.
Okay.
Voted for that impeachment, say that the phone call that you referenced was about a quid pro quo.
It was perfect.
But
my phone call was perfect.
It was a perfect
my
phone
phone
call.
call was saying, please investigate any crimes that you see. And by the way, I'm mandated to do that as the President of the United States.
There you go.
My phone call was perfect.
It was perfect.
Duke.
Who would argue with that?
Hey, Duke.
Hey, Duke. How you doing, buddy?
How the hell are you?
I'm doing great.
How Donnie's for Queens doing today?
He seems to be doing pretty
perfect.
I thought I heard him a while ago. You better sit on back for a little while. Let me see what I need to say. Donnie from Queens.
Oh, he's got some other ones that I think are just from this long interview. He did like an hour and a half with Kristen Welker. For instance, hold on real quick, Duke. I want you to see this one and react to it because I think you'll like this back and forth here. This is Trump on January 6th.
Said, sir, it's better if you don't do that. It could be unsafe because they didn't because of riots. Because, it takes one guy with bad intentions, okay? So I didn't have a dispute with them. You had that one person said, I grabbed the man around the neck.
That's right.
Actually, I wish I was so strong to be able to do that. These are all tough guys, smart guys.
Dispute that account.
You dispute that account.
Who wouldn't dispute it?
You dispute that account. Come on, man.
No, that's funny right there.
Oh, Old Trump said, I want to clear the floor with you, boy, like old Jason, Freddy Krueger, whatever.
Yeah, he said he wanted to, but he also said he ain't big enough man to do that.
So you disputed.
Oh, Chris need to hear that, don't he?
Oh, man.
Oh, man, I tell you. But I almost hit somebody a while ago, man.
What?
This guy. I thought we were supposed to be helping the mental illness patients in the state of Alabama.
I don't know where you got that idea from.
Huh? I thought the government said she's going to help, take care of these people. Oh, some facility or something, man. Because, starting to wonder. These people in bad shape, man. I thank God that
Oh, sure.
Mental the challenge and everything.
Yeah.
But just out there in the street like that, man, it's sad. And
I agree.
I saw one the other day. He had like a hospital type outfit on, like he just walked out of the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Walking all across the street, in the middle of the street, and people just going all around him. But I started to think for the last few days, I said, hey, I don't know if these Alabama fans or what. Hey, had they lost it that badly? I don't know. What do you think, man? Huh?
I think you're on to something.
I hate to put that in the same statement. I'm going to talk about something serious about that, but I just wonder if some of the Bama fans doing some of this stuff.
Yeah, but didn't they win?
They won, but, man, they got dropped down to number 12 in the polls.
Oh, no.
Number 10. Yeah. So I'm just wondering what Alabama a while ago I saw. I don't know. I would have stopped and helped them.
They were a little bit distraught this weekend.
It's funny to me. All these folks calling for Saban's fire are going to be praising him again as the greatest when they win another SEC championship.
That's what I can't believe. Honest to God, when I hear people say they want to fire Saban, are you kidding me?
They clearly have a quarterback problem, but like the first game against a pretty good team called Texas, okay, you lost it.
Now they want Darky. They want Darky from Colorado to come up there and be the coach now.
Oh, I did hear that.
Don't be using those terms on the radio.
Suddenly, out of the blue, they want Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders got a job.
Deion's great.
He is great.
The sunglasses thing. Oh man.
When he knows how to play it. I honestly don't think the University of Alabama could handle a coach like Deion Sanders.
True. I still think Auburn missed out, man. Hey,
yeah, we did.
Hey, how you think the Alabama fan would have handled that? Auburn had Deion up there and getting it.
Oh, it would have been amazing.
It would have been. Could they handle that, man?
No.
I think some of the boosters and those folks would not have liked Deion Sanders because he's his own guy and he's going to do what he wants.
Right.
He like Trump ain't a little bit, ain't he?
A little bit, and those folks in Colorado love him. There was one of
him
the.
Trump just like it. I listen to Deion a lot, and he just like Trump though in a way.
Well, he wants to do it his way.
Yes.
Don't blame him.
And he'd be a good vice president for Trump if you think so. What else?
Well, Kristen, actually some people call me prime time. I thought about doing this interview with sunglasses on. I look good.
And Don, how you been doing, Don, for real though?
I'm doing great, but these folks keep saying I Judy chopped somebody, right? I didn't do that. I wish I could. I could.
I got the perfect guy to interview you. His name is Red Top. A guy named Red Top. They call this station. You might get a word in every other word, but I don't know. That'd be a battle between you two. You may have to choke him up too. I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, I am. If you've seen my forums, like I'm always wearing that suit. Tailor-made Italian silk.
I heard you down to 200 pounds.
Oh yeah, and it's not just a flabby 200.
Pure muscle, I heard.
Yeah, I am I'm vascular, like Vince McMahon in the early aughts. Which I beat Vince at the Battle of the Billionaires. Just so you know, I'm in WWE Hall of Famer.
You're a bad boy, Donnie. I'm gone.
Later, dude.
See you, buddy.
No, and Trump does keep going here. This is being asked about January 6th. This is what actually made Meet the Press instead of the long-form interview. And Trump continues on with his take on the day.
She's the craziest account I've ever heard. You mean that I was in The Beast, and she said I was in The Beast, and the Secret Service didn't win. So I took a guy who was like a black belt in karate and grabbed his neck and tried to choke him.
What happened?
How ridiculous. Just so you understand. And I have great respect for Secret Service, by the way. They're fantastic. The Secret Service said, sir, it would be better if you did. And I said, I'd love to do it. They said it would be better until we went back to the White House. Just so you understand, I made a very nice speech.
Tell me how you watched this all unfold. Were you in the dining room watching TV?
I'm not going to tell you. I'll tell people later at an appropriate time. Just so you understand.
I'm not going to tell you.
What did you
And
do when
you.
the Capitol was under attack, though?
Let me
Mr.
just tell
President?
you.
In the moment that the Capitol
Did you
was
see
under
the
attack.
statements I made in the Oval Office and just outside of the Oval Office?
Absolutely. I
Go
was there
home.
that day.
Our police are great. We love our police. We love everybody. Go home.
That was
this was
that
a
was
beautiful
that was
statement.
at 4
Well,
o'clock
that
in the
statement was
afternoon,
made-
more than
I don't know.
3
But
hours after the
but there
attack
were tweets
started.
that were
Mr.
put out
President.
before that.
I want to know who you
By the way,
on that day.
Nancy Pelosi.
I
I
wanna
don't
talk
have.
about
Why would I tell you that? Listen,
Don't wanna
Nancy
talk about
Pelosi
that.
was in charge of security. She turned down 10,000 soldiers. If she didn't turn down the soldiers, you wouldn't have had January 6th.
Did you call military or law enforcement?
What?
Did you call military or law enforcement at the moment the Capitol
I'm
was
not going
under
to
attack?
tell you anything. Let me put it this way. I behaved so well. I did such a good job. Nancy Pelosi turned down 10,000 soldiers. If she didn't do that, and now
Nancy
I understand.
Pelosi doesn't have the
I
authority
understand
that
the
you
police
have as
testified
commander-in-chief,
against.
though.
Listen to me, Kristen. Listen to me.
Yeah, no, the Speaker of the House, I think, runs the security there. But
remember, she's the one who put up the whole COVID mask things and everything. That was her.
no, but there's one moment with Trump here, like it's think of it in a out of context, like your wife caught wind that you had some crazy experience in Vegas.
I'm going to tell you that.
And like, did you go to a strip club and spend $10,000?
What?
Did you call military or
Did you spend $10,000?
law enforcement at the moment the Capitol was under
I'm not gonna tell you
attack?
that.
Let me put it this way.
Did you spend $10,000 at the strip club?
I behaved so well. I did such a good job. Nancy Pelosi turned down 10,000 soldiers. If she didn't do that, and now
Nancy
I understand.
Pelosi doesn't have
I
the authority
understand
that
the
you
police
have as
testified
commander-in-chief,
against.
though.
Listen to me, Kristen. Listen to me. I understand that the police testified against her. The chief very strongly against her. Capitol Police, great people. They testified against her, and they burned all the evidence.
Yep.
Okay, they burned all the evidence.
Mr.
They
President-
destroyed all the evidence about Nancy Pelosi.
But that's
What
not a
do you
story.
say to people who wonder why you as commander-in-chief, you have authorities that Nancy Pelosi doesn't have as
No, no,
commander-in-chief.
she has authority over
Why
the
didn't you
Capitol.
send help in that moment, though?
Frankly, just so you understand, I assumed that she took care of it. She turned down.
But when you realized that the National Guard wasn't coming?
Well,
when
you
help
don't
wasn't
realize
coming?
anything until quite a while. National Guard not coming. I asked it to be there 3 days in advance, and she turned it down.
She says that request was never officially made.
Oh,
just
stop
so
it.
you know.
Let me just tell you.
Let me ask you
The
about
mayor of
pardons,
let me
Mr.
tell you.
President.
The mayor of D.C. gave us a letter saying that she turns it down. Okay, we have it. Nancy Pelosi also was asked, and she turned it down. The police commissioner
talking
of
about the
Capitol
day of,
Police.
though.
Wait a minute.
Yep.
Capitol Police said that he wanted it, and Nancy Pelosi wouldn't accept it. She's responsible for January
Let's-
6th.
Mr. President.
Nancy Pelosi's responsible.
Mr.
And
President,
the
you're the
J6 committee
president, though. You
refused to interview
You have
her.
authorities that no one else has as the commander-in-chief.
Not
Do you
really.
think you showed leadership on that day?
Yes, absolutely, I did.
Okay.
No, can you imagine if Trump had sent troops? What
After
they would
its
be
own people,
saying?
You turned the troops on your own people.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they would have said.
It's just these lying.
Right.
Mr. President,
Although she is easy on the
if you were
eyes.
reelected, would you pardon yourself?
Yeah, sure.
I could have pardoned myself. Do you know what? I was given an option to pardon myself.
Yeah, I
I could have
coulda.
pardoned myself when I left. People said, would you like to pardon yourself? I had a couple of attorneys that said, you can do it if you want. I had some people that said it would look bad if you do it, because I think it would look terrible. I said, here's the story. These people are thugs, horrible people, fascists, Marxists, sick people. They've been after me from the day I came down the escalator.
Yeah, well, there's Trump putting it all on Nancy Pelosi. And you know what? I think there's a good argument to be
I
made.
know there's a good argument
especially
to be
when you
made.
hear about like how the head of the Capitol Police, who was criticizing them not getting security, all of a sudden he's out.
But how do
and
we
then a
get
new
that-
person is
how do we
taking
get
up
that
the spot?
evidence? Because they burned it.
But honestly, I'm tired of talking about that stupid day. Because what did I say on January the 7th, 2001? This was a huge gift to the establishment. It's a shame. Absolute crying shame. I think what was going to happen that day is actual challenges within the chamber of the Senate.
Right.
I was looking forward to the arguments from Josh Hawley, from Ted Cruz.
Was it
from,
not a setup, Joey?
right.
I mean, it's just. And how many times has this been done statewide since then? Since then, how many times?
Yeah.
And nothing, not one single person has gotten in trouble for that.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Dr. Tom Pershing.
Ah, Dr. Tom.
So, folks, if you're in a bad auto accident, the guy to call is Dr. Tom Pershing at 676-1490. That's Dr. Pershing, chiropractor on Vaughan Road here in Montgomery. They have spinal decompression or possible treatment to prevent spinal injury, laser therapy options used to relieve neuropathy of the legs or arms, and also that laser therapy helps with frozen shoulder, swelling of the knee or sprained ankle. And especially, again, folks, you might have been in a car wreck and you think, I'm fine. And then you start to notice some whiplash problems, other issues going on. Well, Dr. Tom Pershing, he is the guy with the experience to help you out. I think 30 plus years of experience as a chiropractor. He really knows his stuff. So you can always log on at drpershing.net. That's drpershing.net, drpershing.net for more information. Okay. Again, drpershing.net, or give them a call, 334-676-1490. They have affordable packages no matter your budget. So if you need that help, whether it's the spinal health or maybe you got neuropathy, maybe you're just in an auto accident, Dr. Tom Pershing is the guy to go see, the true expert there. He'll get you better. And be sure to tell him you heard about him here on News and Views in the afternoon. More News and Views, well, after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group. Here's your Real Estate Minute. What's the secret behind selling your home fast and selling it for fair market value or above? There's no secret, but here's some suggestions that I've learned over 46 years in the real estate business. First, price it right. Based on other sales in your neighborhood, what should it sell for? Second, make sure all the little and big repairs you may have put off all get done before you put it on the market. Third, consider making some improvements to your house first, repainting inside and out, updating the flooring, professionally clean the whole house. Fourth, consider helping the buyer with a portion of closing costs and providing a warranty too. Number 5, don't try to do this on your own. Hire a professional realtor to provide facts, tips in selling, and guidance all the way through the transaction. Also work with the best realtors from the Goodson Group. Fully trained, service-oriented folks. Call Bo Goodson 221-2883 or the Goodson Group 551-0225.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon. It's true, rates aren't as low as they have been for the past couple of years, but there are still many homeowners that could benefit from refinancing their current mortgage. There are a lot of things in life that are out of our control, but your mortgage rate is not one of them. If you currently have an adjustable rate mortgage, then you owe it to yourself to give us a call.
Adjustable rate mortgages make sense for some people in stable markets, but in this wild, ever-changing rate environment, it only makes sense to secure a fixed interest rate. A fixed interest rate will give you the peace of mind that your rate is locked. Your rate will not be subject to change with the political and economic tides.
At Alabama Home Mortgage, you can personalize your term. We offer 8-year to 30-year mortgages and everything in between. Grab your mortgage statement and give us a call.
Call Alabama Home Mortgage, the #1 mortgage lender in Alabama, today at 567-4223, or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company, run by Alabamians for Alabamians. 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
The Health and Wealth Show. The Health and Wealth Show. The show so nice, we said it twice. Weekday evenings at 6 on News Talk 93.1 WACV. The Health.
Break it up, son. Joke's over, hey?
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back. Again, folks, coming up at 2:45, Coach Tommy Tuberville will be joining us. I'm not sure if it's over the stream or by phone, but either way works. Look forward to talking to Coach about these DOD holds, as well as his letter to the DOD, asking about specifics of who they fired, who they let go because of people who protested the COVID-19 vaccination. So
a lot of good folks.
All that.
Well, you remember with airline pilots. You remember all that? And then they were short of pilots and couldn't figure out why they were short of pilots, but they fired a bunch of pilots.
That's interesting. And then they came up with, you got too many white pilots.
Oh, yeah.
Which is just amazing to hear.
The last plane that you flew, what color was your pilot?
I don't know.
Neither do I. I had not a clue. Not a clue.
I just hope he wasn't a drunk.
Well, now that I'm back home, I'm kind of...
No, I have memories. This is before 9/11. I have memories of flying, and it must have been going to Texas or something.
Were you partying in the cockpit there?
No, you got your wings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to go up to the cockpit and meet the captain.
I got my Pan Am wings.
Yeah. And so, that's a great memory. That's not happening anymore.
Were you in that movie Airplane?
No, that's a different Joey.
Okay. Because he got his wings, too.
No, that's a different...
Okay, just checking.
That's a different time.
Yeah, very much.
It's a different Joey.
Very much different time.
Yeah, just because we share the same name doesn't mean we the same, all right?
You sure?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
Who's that big, child star with the name of Joey?
Oh, yeah, he was not Facts of Life, but
you know,
he had pretty hair, too. Yeah, Joey, darn it. I cannot think of his name.
You know what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah,
he had pretty hair. And, what's his name?
Fatone? No.
Anyway. Bonaducci.
Now, there's one story I want to get to that has to do with Auburn here.
Okay.
This is from 1819news.com. And, well, it's a kind of look into what the locals and people that love Auburn are there all the time are thinking about all the changes going on.
Lots of changes.
And I've noticed it every time I go back.
Yeah.
I graduated in 2011, and I used to go back often. It's kind of like,
well, yeah.
You still have a lot of friends there and ties there. So I was going back all the time to hang out with people in Auburn, but that, cooled down.
Yeah.
To where it wasn't, but, maybe go to a great restaurant. They got a lot of great ones
They do
there.
have some really good restaurants
and when you
there.
go up there, now my aunt and uncle live up there. So I'll go up there, I'm like, it keeps getting taller and taller and taller.
It's a growing community, Joey.
And so here is the headline. Trying to turn Auburn into California. Some upset about mixed-use development replacing Bourbon Street Bar on North College. Now, I remember many a night at the Bourbon Street Bar, and in fact, I think it was the Cam Newton, it was that national championship night.
Right.
Where we won. I left, I was 2-3 blocks from Tuner's Corner where my apartment was, and we all left as the game was won, and everybody is flooding out of their apartments.
Oh, yeah.
Where it is just
World's
a
coming
huge
out, baby.
crowd coming out of the street. I remember a little Korean woman who couldn't speak English. She grabbed me and kissed me. I'm like, this is a great night.
Ah, nice.
And then I remember going to Bourbon Street to see a Beatles cover band.
Okay.
Well, now Bourbon Street's going to be no more. And if you look at it, Eddie, look at this massive
I saw
proposed multi-use thing right there on Toomer's Corner. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I'm like you, have torn feelings about it. I love to see expansion. As a real estate guy, I love to see that growth.
Sure.
But I can see where that's going to get out of hand.
Well, it's also I don't know.
Changes the skyline.
Am I being a snob that I just don't like that architecture? I don't think it looks good.
The architecture doesn't bother me. I guess I look at the big picture where that right there is going to price people out.
Oh, sure.
That's where I see. But again, that's part of progress.
Well, how about this? It has a large ground floor restaurant space, so a lot of people go that.
Sure.
10 very upscale condominiums with rooftop amenities on top of that restaurant, starting at $2 million apiece.
That's what I'm talking about. So if those are going to be 10 of them at $2 million apiece, then the first chance I would get, I would knock down a little building a few blocks over from there and do the same thing, but for $8 million apiece. I mean, it's going to change the landscape. But if I'm living, I don't live in the community, so like you love to say, I don't have any say in it, but I don't live in the community. But I don't know if I don't know if Auburn's ready for that. Auburn's kind of a small town. I think they like their small town flavor.
One commenter even said they're slowly turning Auburn into Tuscaloosa.
That's
no,
what I'm
you
trying to
can, yeah.
That's the point I was
And
trying
as
to
cool
draw.
as, like, I guess the strips was fun, and I'm for blanking on the other part of Tuscaloosa where all those bars are and restaurants, but
you got 5 Points, you got all that down
yeah, but yeah, it's like it just grows and grows and grows, and
Where's it
everything
stop?
looks the same. That's why I'm on this architecture thing. I'm like, what happened to unique, awesome-looking building?
Oh, we lost that a long time ago.
It's a shame.
You know where all the
Absolute
buildings
shame.
look a lot alike? Over in Soviet Union.
Mm.
Yeah, they're all concrete, no imagination buildings.
Yeah, a bunch of brutalist bullcrap, if you ask me. But it's going to happen. And yeah, I guess they got rid of that altitude ordinance where you can just build higher and higher. And no, for instance, my old apartment complex used to have like a bunch of trees, forested area right behind where we sat. Like we'd sit on the front porch. It was beautiful. Like you had a building, but you're nestled into these trees that had to be decades old, if not older. And I went back in that area. They cut down all the trees, put up a big parking garage.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, I guess we need parking, but this is kind of an eyesore. Not the same by any means. And then you start getting the problems with heat and so many other things. I don't know.
Well, that's why I say
I almost feel like people have been predicting it for a while, but the bubble around college towns.
Yeah.
You better thank God for football. And, I've said it before, there are some great disciplines within the larger university at Auburn. A lot of great colleges that if I had a kid, I'd send them to, like aerospace, pharmacy, industrial design is one of the best in the nation, architecture, engineering. There are a lot of great nursing. Yeah, you can go down the line. A lot of great stuff at Auburn. But there is there's something about this where people are going to college for the experience.
Oh, there's a lot of that.
And the amenities.
A lot of parents.
Did you see our new gym, our new field?
A lot of parents in there. I mean, that was popular in my day. I want my kid to have the college experience.
Yeah. And I don't know how much that's exactly worth at this point. Well, it's getting costlier. If you can afford it, God love you, go do it. But it's, hey, kid, why don't you go get a certification instead and make $100,000?
Think about colleges, and we've got so many of them throughout the world or the nation here. If they can't do it without government money, at this point, I don't think they should be in the business. Because at that point, we're just subsidizing.
Yeah, but that's everything now.
Right.
And
So
that's the shame. We're flirting. We're a very rich country, but we are flirting with some sort of corporatist socialist
Sure, but
nightmare.
when you have this many colleges, all of a sudden a college education is not the same value that it used to be.
I agree. Yeah, it's not the same sorting mechanism.
Right, it's not. And then we have colleges that I like to think Auburn's a great college, but then we have the woke college system. How many of those are we supporting?
And maybe we should ask Coach Tuberville about this. That Mark Milley is saying that he doesn't even know what the word woke means. Right. This part of the program brought to you by Bath Innovations of Alabama. And at Bath Innovations of Alabama, they can, help you whether you're looking for a full remodel with the latest technology, fixtures, finishes, and whatnot, or maybe your budget's a little lower, but you want to get rid of that discolored sink or that awful chipped sink.
Nobody likes that, Joey.
Or that bathtub where the mold is set in. You ain't getting that out.
Getting that out.
I don't care how many scrubbing bubbles or Mr.
Right.
Clean products you use. That ain't coming out. So if you want a new look there, go to bathinnovations.com because there are so many options. We don't have enough time to talk about it all here on the radio. And plus, we don't know what your bathroom looks like right now. So you need to go to bathinnovations.com, start to mix and match. It could be, hey, you're getting older, so you need aging in place solutions like safety bar railings. Or you want to convert that bathtub to a walk-in shower with like anti-slip mats. They can do that there. Maybe you want to use this new ABS acrylic shower system, these high-strength polymer panels that can look like any stone and just are durable, easy to clean, and look amazing. Could be you just want a new faucet head or new fixtures, maybe an ergonomic fixture when you're taking a shower or something. They have it all there at Bath Innovations of Alabama, and they're great local people serving local people. So after you go to bathinnovations.com, be sure to stop by 2331 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery and tell Brad McDowell and the team that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the Afternoon sent you. We'll be right back, folks.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Next contestant.
Honey, you look confused. What's wrong?
I'm having a hard time remembering to take my medications like I'm supposed to. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to worry you.
I'm glad you told me, because I heard that Adams Drugs has a medicine on time service that will package your monthly medications and make them easier to manage. Our neighbors, Bill and Leslie, mentioned the other day that they use Adams and how they have made it so easy for them to manage their medications.
Do you think we can call Adams Drugs? Or go by there and see if they can help me? I don't want to get to the point where you have to put me into an assisted living home.
Why don't you get your medications together right now, and let's go down to Adams and talk to the pharmacist.
How much does the medicine on time service cost?
I asked Bill that same question, and he told me it's a free service for Adams customers.
Free? Wow, I'm feeling really good about this already. Let me grab my meds list.
Call Adams Drugs Medicine on Time for your pharmacist consultation. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for more information on our Medicine on Time packaging service.
This is Jim Smith with Adams Drugs. Adams Drugs has been advertising with Blue Water Broadcasting for over a decade and have gone from 7 stores to 12 stores. We attribute our success for what they've done for us. Thank you, Blue Water Broadcasting.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Hi, everybody. Boy, oh boy, I think you're going to like the weather news I have for you. Tonight will be mostly clear and comfortably cool. In fact, the coolest night since the latter part of May. Our overnight low temperature down to about 59. That'll feel nice. Tomorrow and Wednesday, more sun. Still dry, tolerable humidity, high in the upper 80s, low 60s on Tuesday night. Not much change Thursday and Friday, the last 2 official days of summer. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Whether you're buying a home or auto or consolidating debt, CB&S Bank's personal loans get you where you need to go. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you or apply online today. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
The first annual River Region Home and Business Expo, powered by RE/MAX Cornerstone, is September 21st at the Wetumpka Civic Center. Come along for an evening of fun with over 40 vendors, door prizes, giveaways, free food, and even the chance to win a Whirlpool appliance package. Admission is only 1 non-perishable food item for the Elmore County Food Pantry. That's the first annual River Region Home and Business Expo at the Wetumpka Civic Center from 4 to 8 p.m. on September 21st, powered by RE/MAX Cornerstone. For more information, check out RE/MAX Cornerstone on Facebook.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1 WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Welcome back, folks. This part of the program brought to you by Prattville Carpet. Now, normally we'd be talking to Ray Bowles, clearing the decks here for Coach Tommy Tuberville coming up. And, well, they're at Prattville Carpet. Of course, they can help you with carpet. It's in the name. They have that high-quality carpet, including products that can withstand some of those pet spills and messes or children doing this, something like that. But, of course, also Prattville Carpet, they can help you with traditional hardwood, these new laminate products that are, if you're thinking of 90s laminate products, no, laminate product has come a long way. It looks great. Also, luxury vinyl plank, I currently have that in my house, and looks like traditional hardwood, but it's a bit more forgiving in terms of upkeep. And also ceramic tile it offers, so maybe you want to remodel the kitchen, the backsplash or something. Whatever your resurfacing job, check out Prattville Carpet.
Yeah, man.
They'll come to you. Free measurement, free in-home consultation, and that job will get done right. In fact, if somebody mismeasures,
Yeah.
They've got that like trophy of shame.
Trophy of shame.
Isn't it like a little troll or something? I don't know. Like it's a brilliant idea, and it keeps
Certainly
everybody
is.
straight there over at Prattville Carpet, so they measure right each time. So check them out today. You can always call Ray Bowles and the team at 285-8117. That's 285-8117. And be sure to tell them, well, you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. So without further ado, we have on the line U.S. Senator from the great state of Alabama, Coach Tommy Tuberville. Coach, how are you this afternoon?
Joey, I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm quite well. We were kicking around the Trump interview, and they were still bringing up with him that he attacked a Secret Service agent. This is how absurd things are these days.
Attacked a Secret Service agent?
Yeah, he wanted to go to the Capitol on January 6th, so he, grabbed the guy by the throat. And, the fact that Kristen Welker, Meet the Press, is bringing that up with him still, it just shows what we're up against, I suppose.
Oh, man. Welcome to the new America.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, there's not anything I hear today that now we can wear shorts in the Senate chamber. Are you kidding
I saw that.
Now, is that a rule just for John Fetterman?
No, it's for everybody. You can wear what you want to wear. It's just, the Democrats hate history. They hate the America that we have grown up in and lived in. They want to change it some. They're globalists, and they want us to all be like Europe, which they're dead broke. They can't pay their bills, and there are people over there just about to riot and turn on their governments, and it'll happen the same way here if we don't watch it. I mean, these people they're just adamant to show people that they do not like the country the way it was, and they want to change it the way they want it. And it's so corrupt, the DOJ, the FBI, the CIA, and our education system, now the military. Joe, it's just one thing after another, and the IRS. I forgot that other three letters, but it's disheartening sometimes. You come up here and you just see the way that they just want to change everything of history that we've got. But they'd move the Capitol if they could. I don't know where they'd move it, but they close it down and move it somewhere else.
Well, I want to now focus on. I'm hesitating because I need to be appropriate here, and I don't want to lose my job. You get me going on Washington D.C. But one thing you're doing that I really appreciate, because I met one of these folks who had served in the military with honors for a while. His name's Doug. I think was a lieutenant colonel, and he took a stand, a family man who was about to get his retirement, but he said, I'm not taking that COVID-19 vaccine, and they kicked him out. I believe you're now seeking answers on this COVID mandate, and what are the details of this?
Well, they did everything they possibly can do to run out true Americans that love our Constitution, that were bound and determined they were going to take that vaccine no matter what they want them to do, and they ran out 8,000 soldiers, and we can't recruit anybody. I mean, this volunteer army is going south very, very quick, and they just a lot of we're trying to get them to take them back if they want to come back with back pay. In the NDAA, we tried to get Ed Cruz and I tried to get in a provision where they would have to take them back, and they wouldn't do it. I mean, it's just one thing after another up here. The Democrats are going after people that love our Constitution, our country, and it's just unfortunate, Joy.
It really is a shame, and we got to stand by the folks who made their own stand, often by themselves. I just can't, from doctors to those serving in the military, there are a lot of folks who saw through the fear that surrounded the COVID era, and I just appreciate them. So I appreciate you having their backs here.
Well, it's unfortunate it's coming out. I'm on the Health Education Committee. I went through all those hearings with Fauci, and now he is contradicting even himself and what he said, and he's even admitted that he wasn't truthful. A lot of things that he said. That was just a terrible time in our history, and it'll go down as one of the worst times in our history, where we had a lot of people dying and they didn't have to because the ivermectin, we all were saying, give out ivermectin, and our government was blocking the drug companies from selling it and shipping it. It's the dangest thing I've ever seen, and it's just one thing after another. And the vaccine, those of us that took it, I took it myself. You don't know what lasting problems that you're going to have with it during your lifetime.
Right, and I took the first 2 doses of Moderna at a family member's request, but I have not touched the stuff since. Despite my instincts, I'm a team player and a family guy at the end of the day. And now I want to move on to what is now almost like an evergreen topic here. Another great stand you're making, the holds on flag officer promotions there at the DOD. I mean, where are we at with this? Like, how many folks are now held up, and is there any budge from the Pentagon, in particular Secretary Austin?
No, it's over about 7 months we're into it now, and we're over 300. Now, these are generals and admirals that have not gotten promotions. We're getting to the point where we're about to wipe out the Joint Chiefs of Staff because they're all terming out, and they need new ones on there. And now I'm just holding up the group at one time. I'm not. Right. They can bring up individuals one at a time, but Schumer's trying to act like that he's putting pressure on me to release all of them instead of just do one every week or one every 2 days. But I've already told him I'm not budging. I mean, you change the policy back and let's vote on it. Whether it goes up or down, then I'm fine. But you don't go around. What they're doing up here, Joy, is the White House is trying to dictate laws without going through Congress. No, what's that called? That's called communism. Mm-hmm. And the American people get to vote on it. We're a constitutional republic. They get to vote on it. It's not run from one man or one group of people theory of making laws. You got to vote on it. And so we're holding fast. I'm not changing my mind. I wish they would start doing them one at a time where they could take some of these Joint Chiefs of Staff people and put them in place. I would even vote for some of them, not all of them. I vetted them, and there's a lot of them. They're so woke that they're admirals and generals. I don't know how they got moved up to promotions through the ranks over years. I guess they knew how to polish their boots. Most of them never been in any kind of war or whatever. But the one thing that we can't ruin in our country, because it protects everything else that we do, is the military. And if we lose our military, like we've lost the FBI and the education, CIA, DOJ, I mean, you can sack the bats and circle the wagon.
Well, and just as a quick follow-up, apparently General, I guess he's the outgoing head of the Joint Chiefs, General Mark Milley, was interviewed by Fareed Zakaria of CNN, and he was asked by Zakaria, is the U.S. military too woke? General Mark Milley, quote, "No, not at all. I'm not even sure what that word means." Do you buy it?
It's good that he's going out, Joy. Because you saw him say the same thing back when they asked him about white extremism. I don't know what white extremism is. Well, the Democrats and y'all started it. You should know it. And so it's sad, when we're going over the loudspeaker and doing poems to 8,000 to 10,000 men and women on a aircraft carrier, and they have to listen to it. It's just, I just keep telling people, listen, there's a reason that this is the only thing in the country that they can't unionize, that they can't ruin. Now they're trying to ruin it by infiltrating the rules and regulations and putting people in those positions. So it's not an equal opportunity employer. They don't have to take you. I don't care who you are. If you can't pass a physical, flat feet, or you're sometimes colorblind or whatever, I mean, they don't have to let you in. And so that's what I like about the military. They're their own show, and they're there to take the best and the brightest and do things on merit and not on social justice. But that's what they're getting to.
Again, folks, we're talking to Coach Tommy Tuberville, and I really appreciate your time today. Now, one accusation that's been thrown at you is you're hurting military readiness. I want to broaden it out than them just try to put that on you, because I think that's absurd. If one senator doing holds can make us insecure as a nation, well, I don't think we were that secure in the first place, so I don't buy it. But when you look at, say, the lack of ammunition as we send more and more to Ukraine, and you look at the rise of China, just essentially big picture, how do you look at our military readiness and our ability to project power over the world?
We've got a lot of good men and women in our military. I just recently went to the War College over in Montgomery, and spoke to 1,500 majors and colonels that are training to fight wars, and it gives you hope, that we got people that are not buying into all this other stuff, that want to actually be in the military, protect our country. But if anything has hurt readiness since I've been here in the last 3 years, it's this running our people out because they want them to take this crazy vaccine. And when you lose 8,000 people that have experience, that are there for a reason, there's something wrong. And so it's just sad. The readiness part about me holding back these generals and admirals. The people that fight the wars are the majors and colonels on down to sergeants and privates. It ain't generals and admirals. They ride around in SUVs up there, black SUVs, and have nice offices in the Pentagon. And actually, to be honest with you, at the end of the day, this whole military starting at the top, needs to be readjusted because, Joel, we have 44 four-star generals now, 44 on 1.5 million troops. In World War II, we had 12 million troops, and we had 7 4-stars. Right. And there was a reason for that because, you have to have somebody to make a decision and not have to overstep, 4, 5, or 6, 1, 2, 3 stars, and so we're overloaded, but we have to readjust our military to some degree and get back to, exactly what it's for, protecting our nation and our allies.
Well, and I can't imagine, say, running a football program and having a co-head coach or multiple, having to listen to the board on micro decisions. I don't think that would work very well, even with football.
No. But we're to that point. We're to that point where they're falling over each other, and again, hey, work your way up. But sooner or later, you get to a point. People have got to move on out. They got to move on out, and we need fresh blood. We need younger people that are eager, to be making these decisions, not people that just want to stay around just to collect a paycheck. So I think if we somehow can get back control of this country in the Senate and the House and the White House, and next year, I think you'll see a big adjustment to a lot of things, not just the military, but a lot of other things. The FBI, everything that people right now are seeing. Man, what has happened to these institutions?
Really is something. And before I let you go, it's a little bit of a loaded question, but I think a fun one as I'm wearing my Auburn hat today, War Eagle. Do you think the Saban dynasty is over?
Oh no. Nick is so focused, and I watched him the other day. He was dying on the sideline. He just doesn't have a quarterback at this point that's ready to go. He is no experience. Bryce Young had to work his way up through that. I can remember when he didn't look very, very good out there throwing the ball around. He was a backup to either Matt Jones or Jalen Hurts. I was watching TV yesterday. Heck, almost every quarterback in the NFL, went through Alabama.
Yep.
And so it's just one of those years where you got to reload and take your bumps, and they'll get better as the year goes on. They got to figure out which one. If you got 3 quarterbacks, you don't have any. That's what I've always. Yep. My motto has been: you got to go with one. He'll do the right thing. Nick's won a lot more games than I have, so I don't need to be giving him advice. But he knows what he's doing. He's been there, done that, and I like what Hugh Freeze is doing.
Yeah,
they're not real good, but they're getting better, and he knows it. He knows he's got to get a quarterback, and there's not. Georgia's much better than everybody else in the league right now, along with. I'd probably say Ohio State and Michigan. That's probably the top 3, but that'll change. That'll change as the year goes on because there'll be injuries. People get better. I've been watching this prime time out of Colorado.
Yeah.
How interesting is that? My goodness, that's awesome to watch that. But he took a lot of good players with him. It's not the same ones they played with last year. So It's about players. It's about the Jimmies and Joes. You always heard that.
Yes, sir.
Always about them Jimmies and Joes.
Well, I appreciate your time, your insights. Appreciate the stands you're making up there in Washington, D.C., and hopefully we'll talk again soon. God bless, sir.
All right, Joy. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, that's Coach Tommy Tuberville, United States Senator here from the great state of Alabama. Now the senior senator.
That's right. He is the senior senator.
I mean, and man, what a diplomatic question I had to be a little fun there.
I thought he had a great answer.
No, it was a good answer. And great to hear from him today. It really is. But we got to get out of here, Eddie.
Yep.
Because I can already see it.
You see Greg?
The man himself,
He's
Greg
looking in on you.
Udell. He's looking good today.
He is.
Yeah, he looks focused. Like, y'all better get
Laser
ready.
focused.
I don't think y'all ain't ready. Out there
Might
listening
not
right
be.
now, y'all ain't ready.
Might not
You
be.
ain't ready for this. Y'all better get ready for Happy Hour with Greg Udell and Rosie. They're next. Thank y'all for listening in. We'll be back at noon tomorrow. Be sure to tune into the live stream, Joey Clark Live on YouTube. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.